All right, hello, what's going on? It's Rich Ryan here, Raise Brain Podcast. Today, Bracken Crocker, Jack Bauer, we're talking about the Spartan Race Ultra 50K Championship, Spartan Ultra
Let's just call it the
Beast.
Ultra Beast because that's what everyone who's respectable in this sport calls it.
It's going to be confusing from a brand standpoint. So we got that coming up. Heavy European presence there, and we also are going to talk more track and field. If you liked last week, you're going to love this week. It's been really fun to watch that. If you're dialed in on YouTube, you can see some amazing picture. We have some brand new cameras here. Bracken looks crispy as can be. Tell us about your skincare routine, BK.
Oh my goodness, where do I start? I steal Lisa's conditioner and I put it all over my face and head.
Hair conditioner?
Hair conditioner.
That's nice, smart.
Do you actually use shampoo anymore?
I use conditioner. Because when I shave my head, it's like exfoliating.
Okay.
And I use a little conditioner. It leaves me feeling silky smooth.
All right.
Nice.
You don't use
And
shaving
glowing
cream
like this.
just to do that?
Shaving cream, I find, is actually more abrasive on my head than conditioner is. Conditioner is slipperier.
You shave with the
Interesting.
conditioner. That's the lubricant.
Yes.
Okay, it's not the
Yeah,
post. It's not after.
After I'll throw a little bit on as well. You know how like sometimes you shave and it burns a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
I find conditioner takes away that scalp burning.
Bracken, another shaving question for you. What was more difficult to learn, shaving your face or once you decided to shave everything bald?
I would say head was less sensitive than face. Like this down here crease area.
Yeah.
I like to this day, it's hit or miss whether
Still
it's gonna
difficult.
like it or not.
Yeah.
That right here, up either's channel behind the ear is the only spot that ever gives me issue. The rest of my head was like fine
Just
with
simple.
it from very early on.
Yeah, because I was just like, are you there with a mirror? Like, I think that's here. Or I
You
don't
go
know the
hand
process.
and you feel. So you feel and you
Okay.
go. You feel and you go.
You ever
Gotcha.
use like
You
an
pre-
electric, like razor
Okay.
type of deal? I've
That's
seen
Yeah,
some of
easier.
those.
most of them are pretty bad and will irritate you if you don't prep your skin well. But I found there's a baby bliss. It's like used by barbers.
Mm-hmm.
That one works pretty well. So I go like every other or every third. I do it with the baby bliss just to give my skin a little something different.
It's working. I've got to
Yeah,
say.
I was gonna say,
This camera.
watch this HD right here. We've got
You know, they
looking
talked about
nice.
the actors in Hollywood were really going to get exposed by the huge improvements in high definition. Not me. It's going to unleash my normal glowing, glossy self.
This is your big break.
I feel like I need to sign with some sort of agency.
easily.
It all
You
starts
just
today.
gave several brands a shout out. So if they're listening,
It's the
That's right.
first
Baby
day of
Bliss
the
should
rest of your
sponsor
life.
this podcast.
I
for
got
one of the three people who are bald.
Rich will get
balding
there.
though. Balding. I'll never be able to go shave. I'll go buzz. So we'll be different. We'll be.
That's how I started. I was buzzed for 8 years before I shaved it.
What was the
Okay.
dual? What was you went this way though?
I came back this way.
That's male pattern.
The horseshoe shape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
going monk mode.
I got bald
Okay.
spot.
Yeah.
Mm.
I saw a picture one day and it just looked way too distinct. This to the rest of it. Like, that's it.
Like Air Force Ken. I remember seeing some of his photos. I'm like, guys, just gotta
Hey,
get rid of it.
you
Back
just
in
see
the day.
one race picture in a barbed wire crawl or something. Like that's it.
You're like,
I don't ever see that part of me, and now I did, and it's not what the world needs.
It's tough. It's tough. So to this weekend.
But
We're
I'm
there,
not
okay.
done
We're
talking
not there.
about
Okay, we
bodies.
can go for days.
I'm seeing some stigmata there, Rich.
Oh, right
And-
hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's? Oh, both of them.
I have to put it back up. It read my
Oh shoot, mine too.
gesture.
Check us moving.
Oh man. Oh,
So,
we are in the future.
being the gymnast. That's a gymnastics rip there. You were either doing some kipping
Chest to
pull-ups
bars.
or you were doing some yard work.
Yard work not as much.
Yard work always gets me like here on the inside, not on the palm.
All I'm doing is
That's where I
pulling weeds
noticed.
these days. Just weed. Nothing grows out here, Jack.
How's your
except
grass
weeds.
looking? I know
Bad.
that was like a sense of pride for you.
The back grass is going okay. We planted a little
Okay.
bit too late, and there's been not much rain
No.
this season, so everything is
Yeah.
dead except the weeds. Sunflowers can grow.
See, this is torque spot. This is swinging.
This is absolutely swinging. I did some bar
Yep.
muscle ups yesterday.
I
And,
did it again.
I did it too. I did some bar muscle ups, some ring muscle ups. I wore the grips and everything. I just don't do it frequently enough, and there
Got
was
to
in
chalk with
volume.
grips.
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
It's just it was just too much movement
Yeah.
on the thing. So it's not as bad as it was during the open where I ripped open I did open up the like the callus spot like right below
Mhm.
the finger, but right on the palm. It's a little annoying, but I got a little ointment here. It's this is actually a foot salve,
Yeah,
salve.
one of those.
It's
You guys don't
French.
got me, huh?
Yeah. And speaking of French, we're
Sauvé.
going to be going there for more zine for the Ultra Channel anyway.
Thank you, Jack.
Yeah.
Got us off this skin situation. Too
Yeah.
much skin talk. We look too good today that we
Mm.
can't help but to talk about the way that we look. So we have the Ultra World Championships, Ultra Beast. It was our idea, taken by Spartan.
A little over a
50K.
year ago. Yep.
Yep, 50K World Championship. So, what is our initial response to this? This came out. We heard about this maybe 6 months ago, and it's like
Start of the year.
we like the idea, right?
Loved it. This was our most looked forward to move by Spartan in decades. You got the wrapping off of that keto now. Are you unsponsored again?
Yeah, I got to make sure I'm getting my thing right. Well, I pulled it off and then I had to peel the rest off. I don't like to have a
Okay.
little flabby there.
If I remember correctly, we said this is the best decision Spartan's made in a long time. That was the initial take. This is fantastic. Lean into the ultra. Go back to the gritty core style, and let's do this. That's where I leaned initially.
How you feeling now?
Well, I'm gonna answer your question with a question.
Great.
Name the 10 best ultra athletes in the Spartan world. You guys go. I'll hold fingers up so that you
Well,
don't have to ruin your.
I think some of them had bigger fish to catch.
No,
So,
no,
like
no, no. I'm just asking a question.
Okay. I was
How
going to say
many-
John Albin.
Atkins, Albin, Veerman.
Are we talking known commodities like
Known commodities have done
or
this
people
before.
who would? Okay, Gaudet.
Austin,
um,
Azar. Jack, give me some Europeans. We're all North American right now.
Europeans,
You
honestly,
can go Heineck. You know you can go Heineck.
I don't
Heineck.
know how much ultra experience he actually has.
I'm just counting trifecta as an ultra.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
He closes the beast hard in a 3-day race. I'm gonna give it
Basilico absolutely has the capability of
so
doing it.
7.
We're
This is just on the
disrespecting
men's
some
side.
people here. Yeah, whatever. Chris Mendoza,
DJ Fox.
Josh Fiore.
Josh
Fiore.
Reed, Fiore. Yeah.
If we go
Did we get 10?
further in that's
That
10.
easily.
And I mean, if we wanted to go deeper, you could. And there are plenty of others that we could go to. And how many of those people that we just mentioned are going to be here?
I don't think any of those people are going to be here.
So that's my answer. How excited am I about this? We thought it was going to take. We really did. We thought that, and a lot of people called it out early. I'm going. This is my thing. I'm training for this. And they're not there. For one, I'm not judging the athletes. For one reason or another, they are not there. One of the big reasons is we just saw Chris Rogloski do a cross-country trip and did an AMA during it and stated that she still hasn't been paid and she's out on Spartan until she gets paid. And that
Jeez.
sentiment is shared across the board. And I don't blame the athletes for that. But my answer is, as much as I love the idea, we're missing out on the top people. And then it doesn't feel like a world championship.
Now, what? All right, we've just watched the Olympic trials. A lot of top contenders are not making the Olympic team. Are you still going to watch those events because it's a good race at the end of the day?
I wouldn't say a lot of the top contenders didn't make
Like
it.
a Thing Mo not making the team.
I think there was a handful at best.
But we still
Christian
have
Coleman.
we still have
you know,
Mary
there.
Mora and Keely Hodgkinson.
I
and
know.
those- Like it's still going to be a good. It's
I
not like
get you.
If
Yeah.
none of them made it, the 800 would be way less exciting. And
You have
I'd
several
probably still watch it, but
A-level people still in the race, despite having one or two
Yes.
of them not there. I get what you're saying.
No disrespect to the people who are going, but a world championship is as worldly as the best people that show up.
Now, I'm going to say on the other side, a lot of people are pumped in Europe. This might
Yes.
not be getting the U.S. attention. I talked with Tomas Blanc, who's the race director.
We're gonna have to turn this setting off, huh?
we might have to. I got to figure this out.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry,
I talked with Tomas Blanc, who is the race director. Did I share with you how many people are in this weekend total? Almost
Um,
11,000 total.
This
between
is a 4-race weekend? Is this like a
yes,
beast?
yes, but there are over 1,000 people doing the Ultra Beast
That's
total.
crazy. That's
That
great.
is in that OCR is not dead in Europe. I don't care
No.
what people are saying. Like 1,000 people in an Ultra Beast, that's absurd. And this is not an easy Ultra Beast.
So I guess we'll talk about the field itself, and we're gonna draft because Jack skips on the high rock stuff where I wax everybody. I'm crushing the competition there. Then he's like, "Hey, let's draft this where only I know how to pronounce the names." And it's like the high rocks ones don't count. So
I had an
we're
excuse
gonna
last time,
draft.
but yeah.
We're gonna draft eventually. So I guess my question here is yes, there should be athletes who emerge in the European market, right? What will it take for us to give them the respect that we've given to Atkins, Albin, Mark Gaudet over the years if we're never going to get to see it head to head?
Mhm.
Or when you use the track and field example, it's like that woman ran 155 props. That's amazing. But in this sense where it's like, but how good are you when you're not racing against the athletes that we know are like legends? What is it going to take for that? Is it just going to be a visual
Money.
thing?
Alula, it just happened. We had an ultra roughly 8-hour event 4 months ago.
No,
5
not
months
what's
ago.
going to get people into it. What are we going to
Yeah.
when will we know if these athletes are good or not? Because
Okay.
like Bracken's saying, it's like, hey, this is a great event. Is anybody good that's going to go there that we know of? I'm sure there are good athletes. Jack will tell us all about them,
Absolutely.
but they're not the athletes that we know are good.
Well, and that's the problem, right? So we see in the U.S. National Series, we started with Jacksonville. How good was that winning performance? We don't know. We can't compare year to year time. And the people who were previously up there at the top weren't there, so there's no comparison. In the next stop, when we look at Big Bear, well, we had Hawk Call there, and he decimated people. And then we got to see Chris Brown get dropped by him and then say, I've never seen anyone do that in this sport. No one could have touched him on that day. So we at least had one data point, one marker to say, here's what it means. If you don't have Atkins, if you don't have Albin, if you don't have Gaudet, if you don't have Veerman, if you don't have, I mean, going back in time, even like a Seb Conrad from Europe, if you don't have someone like that there, it's hard to tell what's going on, like you said, because time is not transferable generation to generation, because even year to year on a course, it's not transferable. So the unfortunate thing is that our generation will never give the flowers to the current generation until someone is seen there as like the barometer. Who is there this year? Jack, do we have someone this year that we can look at and say, this is our Mendoza line?
Our Chris Mendoza line for the ultra? No.
We got to pick a Riker line then too.
Yeah.
Right. Mendoza line is what sport, Jack?
That is the 200 batting average for baseball, right?
For baseball, correct.
Or
So
baseball. I thought I said baseball. Yeah.
not Chris Mendoza, our Riker line.
know,
If you beat this person, you're a stud, and if you're below it, you're below average, kind of
be in the minors,
studs.
Yeah. Well, I will say, who is it in this race?
Yes.
We can talk about it once we draft. I don't want to.
Do we have one?
Play my cards.
To answer this question, do we have a litmus test, a
yes.
barometer?
Yes.
Okay.
On the men's side specifically. Yeah.
Good.
Definitely. I will say we did last year have 2 Europeans, Janka Popova, Manuel Defoe, come over, show everyone US, they're Europeans are not to be taken lightly. We saw in Abu Dhabi, Europeans kind of wax the US. We saw it in FISO. Like everyone knows how good they are. So I don't think it's a matter of like not giving them their flowers. I just think it's a matter of not knowing the names yet. And it's so much easier when you're like, here is, Ryan Kempson. How did so-and-so finish relative to him? Because we know how he does every single year. And it stinks that you don't have the comparative anymore, but these people were going to do good regardless. So, a 4th place finish at this race should mean something regardless of if there are enough US names there, because there are a lot of really talented Europeans going.
And when I'm looking at this prize money, I have the Zendesk up. So I don't know how accurate this is. It's
Would you fly over for that?
Well, it's 3,500 for the win, 2,500 for second,
15.
and 1,500 for third. So yeah, so if we see these athletes come out and say this is the same payout for 2 years in a row, and then 3 years from now it's 10 G's, and we get the athletes who we knew were good. Are these athletes who are going to race this race? Are they going to sniff the top 10? Like, uh, like it's. I just don't know. Even though you're
Yeah.
saying like, oh, we don't know the names yet, but why? Why not? Why don't we know the names yet?
Well, and I don't even think it's a US thing. I don't need US names there. When did we know Esther was good? My personal time I knew she was good was when I watched European Championships and she gave it to Ida. Like, okay, Ida's a known commodity,
Like
and I just
4 years
watched.
too late, Bracken. Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said that's like 4 years too late.
Right, I'm an
Yeah.
American.
Yeah.
Right, I'm ethnocentric here. When
Yeah.
I get over there, or when I get into the YouTube annals and I see Esther pulling away from a known commodity in Europe, I know. When I see Yanka doing things in Trifecta or in Abu Dhabi against people we know, all right, I get it. She is that. When we saw Defoe against even like Leon, okay, I get it. I know what Leon can do, and I see what Defoe does against someone that can do that. I get it. I don't need US people. It's nice to have them. And unfortunately for the sport, historically, the podium at world championships is at least 50 or 60% US. So
Or
a lot
Canadian.
of
Yeah.
our known commodities are the world standard. Ryan Atkins is North American.
Yeah.
He's not European, but he is the standard for how good are you in the sport. So we don't need US. We just need someone to compare them to. Otherwise, we have nothing because times don't matter.
And just a byproduct of the sport visually, it's hard to gauge how good someone is because of how everything's
Yeah.
just ground to a halt. And this course, like what kind of gain are we talking about?
You guys want to talk course?
It's
Because
talk court. I do want to say though that
Yeah.
the very best in OCR do look impressive. You watch Basilico run, you know he's moving. You watch Albin descend, you know that's world class. You watch
Nicole
Atkins
running.
fly through obstacles, you know that that is good. We watch Jacksonville and we're like, I can't tell if that's good or not.
Right.
And they're very good athletes, but they're not world class athletes, and that's the difference.
Mm.
All right. You guys want to know about the course?
Let's hear about the course.
Got like 10 voice messages from Tomas. So we're gonna know
First of all,
exactly
can
what
I
it's
also
like.
say I'm so happy he's race director?
Oh yeah. He's
That's a
fantastic.
fantastic choice.
Yeah. So if
Who
you've
is it?
ever
Say it again.
watched Tomas Blanc,
Okay.
you've probably seen him before, but if you've watched any of the really like Greece, a lot of the high level European national series races of the past 5 years, he's one of the camera people over there and does a fantastic job. He's kind of like Steve Hammond, where
Yes.
but a little bit faster, I would say. But very, very, and he was a pretty respectable athlete in 2013 to 14.
He's a national
15, like,
level OCR athlete who has
Yeah.
rabbited every major race, and now he gets to direct it. That's the kind of eyes you want on course.
Nice.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So Ultra or Spartan Ultra World Championship in Morzine. It's going to be a loop one. It's going to be 32 kilometers. They're going to go above 2,000 meters twice. There are two massive peaks. Some of the
Where's it
sections.
start? Is it like
Okay, so it starts and finishes in the middle of the town of Morzine. So you run throughout the town.
Which is how high?
I don't know the exact start on that, but I am willing to bet you probably have at least 3,000 feet of gain per
I'll
loop.
look it up.
Just look it up. He said he finished mapping it last night, so I just haven't checked this morning.
so you're thinking 3,000 feet of gain?
1 kilometer per vertical per loop at least.
Okay. Yeah.
He stressed two massive peaks. So, but here's the thing about the layout. So you're gonna run about 10 kilometers, and then about 10K in, it's gonna basically turn into a sky running course. Some very
1,000 meters of elevation in Morzine.
And then it gets
Okay.
over 2. Okay, yeah, so right.
So you're looking at about 7,000 feet, about 2,000 meters total elevation gain. Same change.
And we're
over the
talking
course of this
64K.
race. No, the loop one includes the transition zone, or like the ultra loop or whatever.
Oh,
This is
so
gonna
it's
be a- this is gonna be a
32K and then what?
This is the 50K, but like
It is
loop-
going to work out to 50.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, like I said, about 10K in, it's gonna be normal, and then it turns into a sky running course for about 10K after that. So you're gonna have some exposed sections. He said it's been raining a lot, so the ground's going to be a little bit muddy, so those technical sections might be a little bit slippery. The way that he described it also is this course is very similar to the ski slopes of Killington in terms of grade. So you're going to have sky running meets Killington. This could be a nasty course for climbers. In terms of obstacles, he stressed that the quote carries are going to be crazy, which is great. Love seeing that. Couple new obstacles: Athena's Traverse and the tilting ladders. You probably saw some of those preview. It's just a collapsible ladder where it like hinges, and when you get on one side of it, and Athena's Traverse, I think, is kind of like Z-Wall with the different grips, if I'm not mistaken.
Obstacle innovation.
Innovation, yeah. And
They
they're gonna have a laser pistol each loop.
Oh,
oh yeah,
let's go. Pew.
game changer. So each loop is gonna have 2 sandbag carries, 2 spear throws. There's a log
spear
carry
and pistol.
Yeah,
Accuracy.
Can it get any better? Yep.
Accuracy. 2 spears and a pistol per lap.
That's what he said.
Did Spartan worldwide, real quick, Jack? I know you're cooking right now. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Cooking? No. I got notes.
Cooking. But did the international rules change the way that the domestic rules change in terms of penalty loops?
I don't know that, but
Or are they doing burpees?
I believe it's just penalty loops. Because I mean, just look at what happened in Abu Dhabi. Basilico had the lead, and he had to do a penalty loop. So I imagine that it's the same principles.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, no.
They had burpees in, I want to say Shanghai at the spear throw recently.
Really?
At the elite race, and that's a national series race.
I'll talk with Cody, see what he has to say about China, because is
that true?
He's definitely connected.
You just firing off something?
Oh, we know Braggon's going to be making up stuff this episode. Was
like
that the first one?
The race down in Antarctica?
Yeah, no, I work with an athlete over there, and maybe it wasn't Shanghai. Was it Shanghai? Yeah. Anything, whatever the most recent Asian National Series race was, they had all penalty loops but burpees at spear throw, which was at the finish.
But if there are 3 accuracy tests on each loop, we would imagine some of these penalty loops are gonna have significant gain.
I would imagine also, yep. And then the other carry on each loop, so they're gonna have the chain carry as well. So sandbag carries, the chain carry. They're going to have a log carry, which if you've watched any of the previous coverage, it's actually really cool. You carry the log for a while. It has a flotation device, like a vest attached to it. So then midway through your run, you're going to reach this alpine lake that's really cold. He said the water's really cold right now. You get in there and you're almost using the log as a flotation device. So you have to have a water crossing, might be 100 meters across or something like that, frigid water. And then you get out, and then you have to finish your log carry. It's a really
100
cool
meters.
It's a pretty big swim. Like,
how long is that swim in West Virginia?
West Virginia, people were like 4 or 5 minutes in there.
Yeah, but you think it's 100 meters? 100 meters is like a long.
And OCR people suck at swimming, but when you're wearing like shoes and have a flotation device, you're not going to be fast at swimming. But it takes a while.
Rude. Most OCR people suck at swimming. There are some great swimmers.
Okay,
in this sport.
There are Audrey is a very good swimmer, and every single time there's a swim in a race, she's like, "What are these people doing?" And
you got to do that reverse frog. Get on your back.
Killian
Killian
is a good swimmer. There were a few decent ones. We know Kent used to be a lifeguard, but he had some slow splits on the swimming.
We've seen him in
life jackets
cheating his ass off.
Yeah, life jackets change everything.
I know.
Dumb.
Yeah.
In West Virginia one year.
Drowned. Yeah.
When you're West Virginia, I was getting in there hitting that freestyle, kicking real hard. I was like, man, these guys suck at swimming. And I passed like 3 people, got out of the water, took like 3 steps and cramped so hard. I was like, okay, not worth it. So reverse frog. That's the move. On your back.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
I'd be more likely to cramp hamstrings doing that than just freestyle.
Just pumping. Boom.
Do breaststroke.
That's what it is, like upside down breaststroke.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Frog.
But yeah, I don't know the duration. I'm
100
sure
meters with a log would take how long is this race going to take? Over or under?
Guess who's got stats on that? I'll show you after.
Just so we know, like, let's put stats to it. The last triathlon I did, I was 133 per 100 yards in an open water lake swim.
Okay.
And that was starting a race off, sending it. There's going to be some waves, but it wasn't cold. So 133 there, probably double that if you're not sprinting off into a race for most athletes, it's going to be about a 3 minute of
With
just
clothing,
non-life
shoes,
jacket swimming.
life
Now you
jacket.
add, they're going to all have some sort of hydration system with them, even if
Yeah.
it's just a belt, plus shoes, plus they're holding on to a log and pushing. This could be a 5 to 6 minute swim if it's truly 100 meters.
Times
Okay.
2. Or is this going to be an ultra loop? Are we going to do that twice?
Everything has to be done twice for this.
Oh, it's not. There's not an ultra loop.
No, there
It's-
is an ultra loop. That's why the first loop finishes at 32K. So it's
well, then usually the ultra loop is done once.
this is not in the loop. This is part of the primary course. The
So you're
ultra
not doing
loop, you're
everything
talking
twice.
I know. You're saying like here's the bonus section for ultra
Yes.
runners that's in between laps 1 and 2. Yeah, that is not. This is part of the race.
So we've probably only seen 2 races ever that had swims longer than 3 to 4 minutes.
Okay, so I just pulled up more
In
zine.
Spartan.
I just pulled up more zine. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna do a screen share. All right, let me do
Should
this.
be allowed. I think I already got ahead
good,
of it.
Good.
And it's
All
not
right.
easy to impress Jack. So I'm
Screen
excited.
share
for
right
this.
here. So I typed in Morzine. Here's like the area. I'm looking around. Okay. Oh, look, there's a lake. This is probably the lake where it's at. If you're just going across at basically any point of this lake, that's 961 feet. That you're looking at like a 300.
No, they won't.
No
it'll
way.
be a loop.
When they did that, yeah, like when they did
It has
for
to be loops.
Tahoe, where they would.
You think
just
it'll be? You
cinch
think
it
it'll be
out
like this
around a
part?
buoy.
It has
it's
to be a
across.
loop if you're going to
It's
return the
across.
carry.
Okay, let's say it's this tiny thing. Like right here. Let's say we go across right here. 150. Okay, so that would be like a 50-meter swim, roughly.
That would be
across.
that would be more appropriate.
Is this Alpine?
It has like, of course, the shadow happens right there. It definitely is Alpine. It's like pretty high up there. But anyway, that's going to be a very unique one. But then the best obstacle, if you've ever watched the live coverage, Bracken, you've probably seen it before. You go into a waterfall and you have to climb up this net. And that is one of the coolest obstacles I've ever seen at Spartan. Like literally there is a waterfall coming up above you. And then there's a 20-foot tall rock ledge or something like that they'll just put a cargo net up there. And the water is just beating down on you. And you've got to climb up. It's very unique and super cool. So I think
It's
it's
one
gonna
of
be a
those
great
that I
course.
don't know how it's allowed.
Europe. They don't sue people like we do in the US.
Which is
Right.
awesome.
Yeah, that's. I noticed that when I went to a CrossFit gym in France. I was like, "Do you need me to sign something?" They're like, "No, get in
Come
there."
on in, drop
I
it
was
on
like,
your head, whatever.
I'm gonna sue. I'm gonna sue this guy blind.
Yeah. Welcome to America, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. So that's kind of the course overview. The weather, it's gonna be like Tomas said, it's gonna be just raining a lot of this week. So look out for the slippery sections. Live coverage. I think that's the most important thing. You can watch this. It's going to be really early overnight for a lot of the US viewers, but a local TV channel is going to be helping with the broadcast. They've done it several times in the past. Rich doesn't believe it's going to be good.
Ain't gonna
But
be good.
if you look at any of the past Morzine coverage, they've held the European championships there. Great quality, and that was in like 2018. You know it's improved since then.
Spartan hasn't since 2018.
They're outsourcing it to a local TV channel that has their own satellites and stuff.
The old saying, Jack. Hold on, real.
Yeah, let's go.
Fool me 1,800 times.
That's true.
Shame on me.
Yeah.
Fool me 3 times. Can't be fooled again.
This is Spartan Europe. It's different. But I'll eat my words if when I'm wrong.
You're gonna eat that.
I'm gonna eat those words.
I'm on Jack's side. Their coverage
only
there is
because it's
historically
Morzine.
good.
Yeah.
I'm on Rich's side that I have no faith in anything Spartan anymore.
We're both right. Yeah.
The hope that you have is just I wish I could have this type of conviction towards something potentially happen in anything.
Don't worry, guys. It's gonna be great.
This is just amazing.
I'm a life
positivity.
optimist. Yeah. I'm a running optimist. I'm a Spartan pessimist.
Rich, you're not wrong.
It's a realist.
I get it. You're not wrong at all. But if I had to bet on a race that it will be executed correctly, this would be the one how about that? Is that a better way of phrasing it? They're probably going to screw it up somehow.
How much would you bet?
Oh, I'm not.
You don't even gamble.
I'll bet all of the winnings from Abu Dhabi.
All of your credit card.
Oh man,
bets.
all the prize money that's been paid out.
That's been paid out from Abu Dhabi and Alula.
Jack, would you gamble if you were allowed to gamble your like hotel points?
Oh,
Would you be like,
I mean, there are things that I would gamble on, just not casino style ones, because the odds aren't in your favor. But if it's just like an actual, using logic and it's more than just chance, I would
like
absolutely.
10,000 air miles? Be
Yeah,
like,
sure,
all right,
absolutely.
what
But
else?
anyway, you
Okay,
get,
I want to know this. My interest is piqued.
yeah,
Jack, you are a numbers man and you fancy yourself a thinker, and that is good.
yeah.
What do you think you have figured out that you know better than others and
I'm
you could
saying
bet on?
I'm saying
good
if it's
question.
like, well, if for
Rock, paper,
one, like
scissors.
that let's run prediction contest for the Olympic trials, Bracken sucked at it. And we have
I
a lot
saw
of
that you have 77 points
yeah,
and are 10 behind even making the top 50 leaderboard.
and
So I wouldn't
I've
have bet on
seen
that
I've
if I
seen
were
that
you.
in our group of 3 people, I won, which is kind of like our group of 3 people where
Where'd
I
you
win
bomb? Where'd you
here.
bomb on that, BK? All of it?
Everywhere. It's
Here's the
trash.
issue.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
it's not
Let's hear
picked
it.
in the
Let's hear it.
correct order, you don't get the point.
I
See,
So you
got
could have the
one
whole
of those.
podium.
Dylan got 2 of
That's
those.
how Jack does his prediction contest, and I don't think I agree with it.
No. They give you 4 points for first place correctly, 1 for any of the others in a different order, and then
Not
if
in
you
a
get
different order. You
yeah,
don't
it
get
is.
points for a different order.
Yeah, it is.
No, only for second place.
No. Third I thought third place was highlighted also.
Right, but you don't. If you picked second place and they took third, you don't get anything. If you pick
Oh,
third, they take second.
dang.
You don't get anything.
Okay.
That's
Well,
crazy.
that's stupid. I don't agree
I
with
want
that.
to. I want to show have points.
I got-
Win, place,
yes.
show.
I
Agreed.
probably had 70% of the names correctly on there in some order.
In all
Bracken
the
had
events?
like
Was this in,
had
like-
7 people on
like
there.
triple
Yeah,
jump?
all the events. I think that they
No,
did running
only running
based,
events.
not field. But regardless,
Nice.
I've got a
Nice.
lot of data that between this show and that right there, just confirming that it's not just OCR and hybrid that Bracken sucks at predicting. Like, you probably should keep your money if someone wants a prediction contest or like a March Madness type of thing. But
Well, what are you
I-
spending your
I-
money on?
What are you
You're
talking about?
You're
What have
deflecting.
we been? This is going off the rails. We have
Yeah.
done March Madness.
Yeah.
We have done fantasy football, and we've done fantasy OCR. And I am in the top 3 of 2 of those 3 every year.
It's not hard to be in the top 3 when there are 3 people on this show.
BK's
I'm
nice
not
at
talking
regular
about
season.
running prediction.
Regular
Fantasy
season
football and March
fantasy?
Madness.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Anyways, you didn't answer my
Regard-
question. What would
Yeah,
you
yeah.
gamble on? What do you know better than the industry?
I don't know if I honestly would gamble a lot. It would be something where it's like, hey, solve this puzzle in a certain amount of time and like use logic.
Of
Like
games.
that's
Got
the
it.
kind of that I wouldn't do something where
Betting
it's
on
like,
yourself.
hey, yeah,
It's not really
exactly.
gambling. It's like much
I know
more like-
that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't do the traditional sense of it, but if it's like logic based, I could probably stand a shot at that. But anyway, just to finish that up, go to Spartan Race France or Spartan Race Europe. It should be on their YouTube channel. It's gonna be worth it.
All right.
Just to pique people's interest, I think people should go back and watch the previous Morzine coverage
yeah.
because A, they're great races, and B, it'll show you what they're capable of without pouring money into it. And I'm not saying they're pouring money into it, but there's more because we saw with Alula, there was more money on the line and they didn't pour money into it. But if they make it any better, it's going to be our first watchable OCR championship in a long time.
Yeah.
I will wait until you guys watch
Abu
it.
Dhabi was good. I take that back.
They've had good coverage for a handful of races.
You're not going to watch it, Rich.
Not live.
Not live. No way. It's too early.
I'm gonna wait
What
for
time
you
does it
guys
go off?
to waste your time. What's that?
Yeah.
What time does it go off, Jack?
I think 6 a.m. France time. So we're looking at
Oh,
10
midnight.
p.m. to like 6 a.m. It's an overnight thing for most of the US.
That's exactly what Alula was. It was like started at 10 p.m., ended at 6 a.m. Those are
Yeah, it's
those
like,
are my
nah.
exact sleeping hours.
So when you wake up, are you going right to it, Rich? Or are you just gonna roll into your day and when you get there, you get there?
I'm gonna check that. I'm gonna check in with you guys. Well, with Jack. I mean, I'm gonna have to
Yeah, you might have to
I'm gonna
wait a
like
few hours for me.
run and drink coffee and do my whole
Yeah, yeah.
thing, and then around like
Yeah.
11 a.m.
It's a
I'll be
holiday
like, "Hey,
weekend,
Jack."
so I'm gonna sleep in even more. So
Oh my goodness, you're gonna be out like a light. And then I'll check in
You
with you
racing
guys and be
July
like,
4th?
"Ooh, a little
No.
firecracker, 4-miler?
You guys racing?
no.
No, absolutely not. You?
It's gonna be the
Got that
first year in a
mile,
bit I
right?
don't race.
Mm.
We have a family thing. I might get up and do. I saw someone doing 17.76 miles.
Nice. I
So
like
I
that.
think I might do that morning early.
Wow.
What if
really?
what if your GPS is wrong?
Then you go in and you adjust it on Strava desktop.
You got
Okay.
that? You got that type of volume in you?
I go slow enough.
Yeah, You could bike it. That'd be easier.
Maybe we'll do 17.76K to show our
Hey.
roots in Europe.
That's what
Yeah.
we're talking about.
But that's not really American using the whole metric system. So
We
it's
we
kind of
we came from Europe.
Is
We
it
gotta honor
true
our roots.
who's
that England does miles though?
they often like I'll see people and they'll be like, oh yeah, I was running 6-minute mile pace. I'm like, wait a minute, you went on a 10K run, but you ran this pace
I
per
think the
mile. So they
UK
kind of
does.
use them
I think the
interchangeably.
UK does the miles.
Yeah.
We don't know, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, Rich, earlier you were asking about the course, right?
Is that what we started on?
And we talked about it.
Yeah. Yeah. No. How long of a course it is. So I've got every single Ultra Beast course that's happened in Spartan. If we're looking on the men's side, historically, the average is about 7:23 for completion time. And on the women's side, it's 8:22. So the women are probably going to take about an hour longer than the men to complete this course.
This is a Lula time frame.
Yeah, seriously. And then if we're looking at
I'm not buying that. It's going to be an hour. It's going to be a half hour to an hour faster than that because there are going to be some horses showing up.
Well, the fastest was 6:37
There
for
we
the
go.
men and 7:18 for the women. So yeah,
call.
you're probably right.
It's
But
going to be slower than that though because of the carries and the swim, which they haven't done in the past.
Oh, they've had some carries and the swim. They've had all those.
Not to this level that I think he's going to try to make it.
I think it's going to be a very brutal course. I would say it's going to be closer to the average out of the range that it's been. So the slowest winner was actually 8:43 one year for the men and 9:44. So you might want to prep to be out there for about 10 hours potentially if you're a woman, and for the men, like 8.5, 9 hours is very feasible for a lot of them. So definitely fuel up. This is not going to be a short course.
Yeah, if you're looking at Killington, to win it, you got to be around 7 hours.
Fastest ever Killington is 7:01. Normally it's 8:08. So yeah, actually this is kind of interesting. So Morzine and Big Bear have pretty similar, finishing times. Same with the women, which makes sense that they'd be pretty close. But yeah, this is a brutal course. Don't take this one lightly. This is definitely not Ohio where you can finish at 4:28 or whatever, or Dallas.
Texas.
Yeah, like some of these easy ones. But another thing, if you want to check out on YouTube, anybody, if you're just wondering like how fast people typically have done ultras over time, I've got this graph, and the blue times, those are men's times, and then the orange times are women's times for every competitive, so age group and ultra or age group and elite since any ultra beast has ever happened. You can just kind of see like how frequently. So most people finishing it, if you're looking at like the peak, right around that 10-hour mark, regardless of the course. And obviously on these slower courses, it's going to skew to the right. But just a graphic for people to see if they want to do. But yeah, it's going to be a slow, long day at the office, realistically.
You guys want to draft?
Oh,
of course.
I'm going to blow Jack's doors off after all his talk about can't predict running, doesn't know any of these people. He may be right, but
I am right.
It's out.
So we are going to draft. We said 2 men, 2 women, and a wild card.
I think so. Yep.
So it's an abbreviated draft here. We're gonna go snake style. Oh, let me get up the wheel of names.
So what does that mean then? All 5 score? What are we doing?
Yeah, maybe we should do 3 and 3 and 5 score. 3, 3 and a wild card.
Let's do that. We'll do that.
Have 7. We'll do proper cross country.
Yeah. I also want to know 1,000
varsity.
people doing the Ultra Beast. How many DNF?
Yeah, this is hard because that's the thing with an event like this. We're gonna have people, and it's not like the Alula where it's loops, so you still kind of get a score or WTM.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Jack last time this happened and people dropped out. Jack finagled the rules so he could
finagle the rules. I took the number of people in the race and just added 1 to that, which is what we've always done. But
and there was like 12 people in the race, like it was typical Spartan. He's like, oh, yeah. Person got last, 13th, I win. I'm like, oh. Last place times 2.
Jealous. Times 2? We're just throwing in arbitrary time penalties.
Yeah, Spartan baby.
It's right on brand. Yep. All right, Rich. Most exciting thing of the day. Let's get this wheel going.
Let's break it up. So we are doing snake style drafting.
Oh, did you see last time that we did a draft when you tried to do the interactive wheel of names and it didn't show up? Like
It
you
didn't show up.
No, you were just standing there on YouTube like, hey,
Being
and
goofy.
nothing's in the background and you just look like Vanna White over there just presenting.
Look, we're investing time and energy into YouTube. Look at these cameras. Look at BK's face. Look at his
It's
head.
So good.
This
No
is the Wheel of
stubble.
Names brought to you by Baby Bliss Hair Products and Hair Care.
For people without hair.
Let's spin this thing. All right, whoever gets this gets to decide where they pick.
Oh,
It's
come
gonna be
on. Oh, Bracken controlling his destiny.
Hey,
Oh, I mean,
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do
He
here?
has no idea.
I don't
give me
even know
the
who's-
2 spot.
I don't even know who's gonna win this thing. Is there even like a clear cut? I couldn't even tell you. I hope I don't.
Come on.
Yes.
Yeah,
Whatever.
baby.
Make it hard on me, guys.
Like I said, I got nothing. I'm going third,
All right.
just out of embarrassment, so I don't like to take somebody that's just gonna.
So embarrassing, guys. Yeah.
There you go, Jack.
Look at this ad. Did you see that? It was for another webcam.
Don't they know?
Yeah, are they tracking him?
$40 for a webcam? Are you kidding me? What kind of trash is that? We're trying to see
Yeah.
those pores. All right.
Rich, when are you gonna start wearing glasses? Speaking of seeing, like, or does this webcam make up for your lack of vision these days?
Your eyes going?
They're gone.
He's talked about that many times in the show.
I gotta wear. I only wear it when I try to do those exercises. Sometimes Jack, I hit it with a little bit of that way, a little this way, a
people
little
think you're just-
circle.
yeah.
Try to do it. I
rolling
gotta do
your
it more
eyes, yeah.
frequently.
How bad are they?
I mean, I can operate as a fairly competent human being. I can't like read when I have to watch TV, like reading scores on like sports ain't happening at a sports game. Gotta have those. Driving's a little sketchy if I don't have them. They're not great. You still hanging on?
Hanging on. I'm dropping a
Hanging
little,
on.
little
When's the last time
Jack
you got eyes
Bauer.
checked?
I've got contacts, but I don't need them. I can pass the driving test without them. I just like them during like going in social public events.
That's
Just
I'm
Mine
gonna
have
see a little bit
certainly
better.
got worse.
Yeah.
And I blame this job.
staring at screens.
I stare at screens all day long.
I saw someone was like, "Oh yeah, I stare at a medium-sized screen, and when I need to take a break, I stare at a small screen, and at the end of the day, I give myself a reward and stare at a big screen."
It's my life.
That's basically how we roll.
And then when I'm
Ridiculous.
working out, if I'm indoor, I'm staring at another screen. That's just all day long.
Hey, that's work, baby. We're consuming and then delivering high-level takes.
We're willing to sacrifice our eyeballs for the public.
Exactly.
All right, you guys ready to get
Let's
this
hit it.
draft going?
Let's hit it.
All right, I'm gonna share my screen again.
Getting dark there, Rich?
I don't know. This is like the camera's interesting with the light, the way it's capturing this light.
All right, so let's just take a look at which athletes are going to be showing up and which ones are not. So I'm just going to get this out of the way. Yanka Popova is not there. She just had knee surgery a couple weeks ago. She was on the list.
Are you
as
sure?
Someone. Oh, I'm positive. Yep. She even. Yeah. She's not there, but I'm listing.
Is there
her just-
another? Is there another J name in here?
Yeah, there's
like in
Yana
white?
Popova.
Yeah, what? Yeah, who do you got in
Jane
white?
Popova.
What font? Who you have in white font here, Jack?
all of them. The real Yanka Popova. So she won't be there. Nicole Miracle also decided she's not racing, which is kind of disappointing because she really did well in Alula,
Yeah.
and that was a really good ultra debut for her.
Do we know why?
Probably money, I'm guessing.
Right. You can you break even on this thing?
Yeah.
Like if you win, like do you break even?
If you show up last minute and you win, you can
That
break even.
$1,000
break
to
even.
get to France.
No one's going to be
Me-
able to see it because
Yeah.
so it's not
Yeah,
going to
they
be
will.
like
Everyone's going to see this.
it's not going to be attracting sponsors.
You look at this list. If I'm a Joshua Reed, if I'm someone like that, I'm thinking I might just head over.
This would be a great race for Josh.
Oh my goodness.
Loves those mountains, and he's got East Coast and West Coast skill level because he's
Yeah.
lived both. Yeah, this might be it. And he
Carries
lives at
and-
elevation.
Mm.
Yeah, strength. Yeah,
Yeah.
he'd be solid.
Anyway, Manuel Defoe said a couple days ago he will not be racing anymore. He just doesn't have the volume yet. He was dealing with a little bit of an injury and doesn't want to risk it. And he is on the list. Ryland Shadag. I do not believe he is racing. Pick him, if you want to, but we know what health issues he's been dealing with, and in his injury comeback. I'm leaving him on there just so, I can put him on there and you know that he's on the list. And I guess I could add Ryan Atkins to it also, even though I doubt he's racing. But he was on Spartan's promoted post, which included
Yeah, how many people? I was
all
just
the
gonna
other
say
names.
that. Who? How many people on this promoted post actually are showing up to this thing?
Yeah.
John
Yeah.
Albin was on the promoted post, wasn't he?
No,
Was
he
he?
wasn't. No, that's a
Was he
lie.
not?
Look at Bracken making up stuff again.
We saw him on a post originally about this, though.
No.
I'm trying to pull it up.
Not by him.
We had. Oh wait, no.
I think they just copy
Anyway.
pasted the people from Alula.
Probably.
That very well might have done that.
Yeah.
So I can't
Alright.
pick Ryland now.
You can. You can do whatever you want.
You can. I'm just putting a line through their name saying it is highly unlikely that they'll be racing.
KBB.
Yeah. You never know. He's probably a good wild card pick for this.
It's a good wild card
okay.
pick for anything.
But the best pick, without question, on Morzine, Miriam Guillaume-Boisset.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at what she's done, she's raced this course twice. In 2018, she got third place at the European Championship. In 2019, the following year, she's like, all right, I'm going to win the Ultra Beast, and then I'm going to come back and win the Beast. And I'm also going to do the Super and the Sprint. She did the quadfecta in the same weekend and won all 4 of those distances. 3 of them were elite, had solid competition like Jezebel Kramer, and there were actually some really solid names in there. And the Sprint was open because it was held on Sunday afternoon. The rest of them were elite races. She has won every single distance, including an ultra, at this location. She's from France. I don't know how you can go wrong. I know that she hasn't raced OCR in a couple of years, but she has a world championship podium before. We've all seen what she can do. It's like, if she can keep those burpees to a minimum, and now that they're not burpees, those penalty loops to a minimum, she's untouchable on this course.
I mean, that's the thing, though, right? I mean, arguments against is obstacle proficiency. What is the stat that we love at
Oh, she had
World Championships?
240 burpees and still finished 8th place
in a regular beast?
in a regular beast.
And none of those
double-
7 women are here.
Double
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that was against like Susanna, Lindsay, everyone good at the time. Yeah.
She's good for 420 burpees for this thing.
That's double 240.
240, you said. 480. She's going to be like cramped up in her triceps and
She's
Yeah.
made for this.
She's
There's no
designed
burpees.
for it.
Isn't that your boy? Didn't your boy Seb have to do like 7,000 burpees in an
Yeah.
ultra one year?
He had his punch card and like they ran out of space basically with how many burpees he had to do.
Still got on the podium.
Yep.
And like, I don't know what her fitness is like, but she is beyond her prime.
Yeah.
I think is a fair way to say it.
Yeah, she's like 43, 44 years old, but has never done poorly, like 8th place at a world championship with all those burpees. That's a fantastic performance for even despite all the errors. This course just has her written over it, and she has experience on it. I don't know how you'd pick anyone else.
I
Right.
agree.
MGB?
Yeah, I agree. I think she's the clear cut. And then I think I'm going to go straight into like damage prevention mode and try to pick who the second place on the female side is going to be. And I'm going to take Ulrike Evensen.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, she's represented Denmark on their national trail running team, like as a trail runner, not even an OCR athlete. And she's run, 70, 80 miles of world's toughest mudder before.
When it comes to the second lap of an ultra, the people who do really, really well are the Joshua Reed types, the people who are absolute tanks with the endurance to go with it and can keep crushing and just taking minutes back on everything that's not running. And I'm not saying he can't run because he's to the point where he can do it all. Or the people with such phenomenal run engines that they take minutes on every single climb throughout the whole day. And I think she has enough OCR in her that she's not going to atrophy and just bleed out on obstacles, and she should be able to run all day long.
Now, one thing, Braxton, that shows you didn't do your research. You know,
Of course
happened to
not.
her? Did you see what happened to her a few weeks ago?
Of course not.
About a month.
Absolutely not.
She was like testing some obstacles for European Championship and fell off. And it is a nasty video. Like her elbow went the backwards direction. And she wore an elbow brace and competed in European Championship in Italy a couple weeks ago. And definitely struggled on some of the obstacles.
No takebacks.
I don't think she finished the race. Her
This
elbow.
is a Spartan though. She was
Yeah,
light. Can
I
she
know.
throw? Is her throwing elbow okay?
I don't know which elbow it is, or what
Yeah.
hand she's dominant, but regardless, it still is a running race for a good portion of this. If you just get that sandbag on your shoulder, use your bad arm, like there are a couple times that she might have issues, but the fact that it's an elbow injury with penalty loops as opposed to burpees for an issue, if she has to fall, that's going to help her. She might lose 2 minutes on that loop as opposed to just simply not being able to use her triceps at all.
Yeah, and that sucks to hear. But the hardest obstacle in Spartan is the tamest obstacle hanging wise in a lot of these European OCR championships, and no burpees. And if you can pick one race to lose time by just being a little slower, getting daintily through things, this is the one. And Rich, have you done Killington?
I actually have never done Killatin. It was always too
neither.
close to Tahoe.
Okay. Well, we've seen what happens on these massive, steep mountains is the runners just make up so much time. So I'm still, even if I knew that beforehand, I'd still pick her.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I don't know what's going on with her not getting highlighted on the right.
She's not going. You knew it.
No.
The spreadsheet knows.
All right. Here we go. We'll just. There. She's picked.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to take Luca Pescalderone.
You know, Jack wanted him.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody should want him. He was fourth at Alula.
Yeah.
If we're thinking this is going to be the same type of time domain, it's different, obviously different course circumstances. Like Alula was fairly flat and you could run it. I don't really know what Luca can do on mountains, Jack.
Well, what can he do? He's one of the best mountain runners in the entire sport. But he has also run Morzine not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times.
4 times.
Never
PK.
missed the podium. He's got 2 wins, both of them national series races in France. He also has a 2nd place and a 3rd place the other 2 times. So he's only run them in odd number years, 2017, 19, 21, and 23. This is an even number year though, so I don't know how it's going to go.
Screwed.
BK, you hearing how this is going? You made a pick. Jack's like, good pick, but bad pick. I made a pick. Jack was like, good pick and good pick.
And real good pick.
Thank you. Would you bet so far, Jack? Who would you bet on, me or BK?
Oh, not even close. It's obviously Rich.
And then I'm going to take
no offense to Ricky.
offense. Then I'm going to take Petra Arvela.
Oh yeah.
You got an oh yeah out of that one.
I mean,
Man.
she's good.
She is good, and she's versatile. She was 8th, I believe, in
rocks now.
Alula. Does high rocks, strong. These carries, if they're going to be nasty.
Yep.
What did he say? What Tomas say? Hard as hell.
Crazy carries.
Crazy carries.
Carries
Just
are
gonna
going to be
cramp,
crazy.
too much muscle.
Now, Rich, you want
No
some
way.
more supporting evidence why this is a good pick?
Yes.
If you had to guess who won on the women's side the Morzine Ultra Beast last year, who would it be?
Petra Arvela is who I would
Petra
guess.
Arvela. She also has a 2nd place in 2021.
Objection, no leading the
beast.
witness.
No, I knew that. That was in my brain. If I had to bet on it,
Yep. Rich he's on it. These are good picks.
I got
Can't
2.
go wrong.
Now we're gonna let it fly. Come.
Yep.
Next round.
Well,
BK's already
turning
there.
to the men, Nikolai Dam.
Hmm.
Ultras in his blood. The man can run. He can also OCR, and he's done well at beast distance championships. I'm excited to see him extend up.
He got 3rd at Worlds last year at the World Championship Beast.
What was that?
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi. Now
World
he's going to
Championship.
extend up.
Yeah.
Well,
that was not.
World assistant to the world championship.
No.
The race. The race.
This is
the
not
race
the Dwight
after the
Schrute
world
championship.
championship. the Sunday sprint.
Yeah. Rich, which race has more prominence? The Abu Dhabi Beast World Championship or like the Meredith Raby Run Memorial Run from The Office? Remember that?
Not locked in, but I
Okay.
do know. Scranton. There's a race called Run for the Diamonds in Berwick, right outside of Scranton.
Is that old about the same? Okay.
That's better.
than the alter. Okay.
Well, I will say
That
this.
That actually is
based
a
on
good race.
based on our opening argument, Atkins and Basilico were there, which makes it more prestigious.
Then race for the diamonds.
Yeah.
They
I don't
actually
know who's
give
there.
they give you diamonds, like you win
No,
a
they
diamond.
don't.
They do.
You win a
Those are fake
diamond?
diamonds.
You win a diamond. It's like a tiny
Are
little
they
diamond, but
good
you
or
get a
like
diamond.
scraps?
Top
'Cause they
7.
use-
I don't
Okay.
know. Are they like blood diamond? I don't know, Jack.
Is it? I mean,
Just
do they
checking.
get studs to show for this, or are you gonna go
Yeah.
get a diamond?
If I was in the best shape I've ever been in, I could maybe sniff a diamond. But yeah, they're good. They're good athletes that come. They're like
Okay.
Olympic qualifiers for
Okay.
the marathon.
That is a unique prize money thing.
It's on
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
prize. Gotcha.
The classic Thanksgiving
Gobble up
diamond
those
trade.
diamonds. Yep.
Get them diamonds, baby. So yeah, I would
Joe.
say diamonds over the. So if there's a race in the Greater Scranton area versus the Sunday Beast, Greater Scranton area.
I mean, if
All
those
right.
diamonds are worth more than $2,500, which is what the prize money was, then it's higher, more prestige.
Is Jack blurry, or are my eyes actually going in the moment?
Jack, get your. I can't tell.
What? I shouldn't be blurry.
Got this beautiful camera.
Yeah, I've got the beautiful camera.
Jack, who you got?
All right. So my next pick, he has raced Morzine 7 times, and he has 4 wins at this venue, including the Ultra Beast, which he won in 2017, 19, and 21. Thibaut Jean.
Tipo.
He was my next off the board, Jack.
Yeah,
He was
as he
on
should have
the-
been.
He was on the
Oh,
Spartan.
Jack's
post.
feeling confident and a bit judgy today.
I'm
if
giving
being honest.
stats. Rich should feel confident. He has a fantastic team. Bracken, you have a very good team as well. If Ulrika didn't have the injury, she should have been the second woman off the board, but she did. But yeah,
She'll be fine.
Thibaut Jean, he got 4th place at the 2018 European Championship against everybody. That was when Johnny Luna Lima came over to race at the European Championship. Sergey, he won his first time. Albert Soleil got second that year. But doesn't matter. Like Thibaut Jean is just designed for this type of course. And in 2022, I want to say in Morzine, he finished like 3 seconds behind Gregory Basilico. And we all know what Gregory is capable of. Anyone who's that close and has all this experience in Morzine, he's got to come off the board next.
Who else?
This is going to be tricky. I think I'm going to go Cassandra Gill.
Cassie Gill coming off the board.
Yeah. She's been over in Europe all week getting adjusted to her time zones. You know, former D1 runner, had a lot of success just in Spartan over the past couple of years in local races, dipped her toes in some of the bigger races. But I don't know. I've just, what I like about runners, and this just seems like a course that she's going to do well. Like, she's a good runner.
Okay.
All right, nice work. BK, who you got?
Oh, this gets tricky for me now. But what team am I? If you had to describe my strategy with a team name, Rich, historically in drafting, what team am I on?
USA.
America.
I would say swing for the fences.
Swing for the
Oh,
fences.
yeah.
That is a good. That is a good
Team
team.
Lucas. Yeah. You've got
Elmer King.
Dang.
Oh,
We know the man has a ceiling that's high. And that's more than I can say about a lot of the people in here that I don't know. If Elmer puts it together, he's on the podium.
Yeah.
he was winning, what was it, 2022 World's Toughest Mudder through like 60 miles. You don't do that on accident, regardless of pacing.
Right. We've seen people try to go out and do that, and they fell apart earlier. In fact, that same year it happened to some individuals.
Yep. So last year, I'll just give you, so Elmer's only 27 also. He's a younger athlete stepping in the ultra game. So earlier this year, he won the New Jersey Beast. Last year, he won Killington and Montana for the Ultra Beast. And basically, he has not finished worse than fourth in his past 10 Spartan races, and they include multiple podiums at the New Jersey, Montana, and Killington Ultra Beast. Like, this guy can run up mountains.
Yeah.
We know he has the endurance. This is a great pick.
Ninth
And
in
he
Alula.
kind of balances Nikolai for me, where we know Nikolai's good at a lot of things, and I don't know his ultra prowess. We know Elmer can handle mountain ultras. So between the two of them, I think we got a squad starting to shape up.
Dang. That is a name that I know and was hoping I would be able to draft him. Shoot.
First American off the board. Oh,
Did you?
never mind.
Cassandra.
Sandra, and first American man. Sorry.
Yeah.
And he is a man.
All right, let me just take a look here.
Have we entered that stage of the draft for you?
For me, for you? Are you locked in? What are you going to do your next pick?
Dialed.
Locked in.
Doing
Okay.
good that I don't pick for 4 more picks. Or 3 more, I guess, yeah.
I was thinking about the time BK was like, for my next picks, I'm only going to pick people that sound like they have Middle Eastern descent. And takes like a Spanish athlete. But I'm going to do
I
something.
don't recall that.
I'm going to take Hannah Francosa.
She one of Kirk's athletes.
Yes. I don't know about active.
Okay.
But she
But
was
at some
so
point, I
know.
believe so.
So she knows she's got that good advice. She does well in the U.S. Has she done ultra stuff?
Oh yeah.
I'm looking her up. So I know that she was second at Jacksonville this year for
That
the
was like
National
a week
Series,
or
right?
two after, I want to say, a backyard or 100-miler.
Great.
Okay. All right. So if you want to know her ultra experience, wow. Okay. Yep. You picked a good person.
Accidentally.
First place, South Carolina Ultra Beast last year. Second place, San Luis Obispo. 7th place, Fayetteville last year for the Ultra Beast. First place the year before, South Carolina. Yeah. And she got 3rd in 2021. She has
Where she live?
plenty of experience. She also won Killington in 2022.
Let's go. This is a Killington course.
Good.
What?
This is a good pick.
Where does she where's she
I don't
live
know
and
where
train?
she's out of.
I'm
But
not
that
sure.
Jacksonville performance was the surprise because she's an ultra athlete who
Mhm.
did that. And it was very shortly after a long race.
Mm-hmm.
All
pick.
right. Now, we're just going to be firing. We're firing it off, dude. I'm trying now. I'm sitting here looking at the names and where they're positioned on the list, and they're alphabetical, which is not helpful for me. Give me Miguel Lebranche.
That's the pronunciation, I guess.
Potentially from France.
Yeah.
So that's where we're
Believe
going, BK. We're going French.
All right. So Miguel, he's been around. He really did a ton of races in 2017, 2018. I remember him traveling like all over the world doing a bunch of races.
Experienced.
Yep. But he has a number of probably 10 or so podiums in his life, but he hasn't raced as much the past couple of years. However,
Cody Moat.
Cody Moat, exactly.
Cody Moat.
He did race 2022 Abu Dhabi World Champs and Morzine last year. But he definitely is a little bit past his prime, but he's raced this course several times, and he was probably one of the 20 or so best European athletes, top 20, 25 for several years in a row.
Great.
Yeah.
He's got experience on the course. That's what I was hoping for. He's probably not traveling too far. I'm good to go, PK.
He's like a world traveler, so maybe he is. I think his
then
name
he knows how to do it.
I think it's like Spartan Nomad. That's his account.
See, he knows what to do.
Yeah. He'll be fine. It's a good pick.
Yeah.
I'm going to take
well,
Sabrina Daulio. Am I saying that right?
Daolio, I guess.
What do we got on this one?
She was
it's a
top 10
name.
at Alula, I thought.
It's a
Oh,
name that we
man.
saw in Alula.
Yeah, she got
and
ninth.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to say 9th overall, 70K, beat
Wow,
Katie
that's
Knight,
real good.
one behind Petra Avala.
Nice job. You got those results up too.
Man, you guys just spitting it off the top of your head. Yeah.
That's a good pick, though. That's a good pick.
No,
you.
so
That Control
another-
F feature is what I'm using now on
Yeah.
results. Just like typing in
I
names.
still have 2 more that I already have decided I want. So
You do? You got picks in your pocket?
we're not yet to my just spit in the dark stage.
okay.
Wow,
So
that's bad for me.
So one other thing, Sabrina, you know that warrior race in South Africa that everyone talks
Mhm.
about how difficult it is. She has won one of those before. So grip's not going to be an
Okay.
issue for her.
What about throwing accuracy? What about
Doesn't
pistol
matter. How about the
prowess?
pistol? That's what really matters. We don't care about the double spear throws. It's all about that pistol.
I hope that what we don't know is they're at the same time.
Bracken's used to that motion. Yeah.
BK, you
All right.
got can you you
Jack
ambidextrous
comedy.
like that?
Can
Lefty,
what?
you got lefty skills?
Yeah, my belief is everyone should be able to hit a free throw and a spear throw left-handed in case you ever injure your right arm.
You switch hit? You hit from the left?
I did, but I didn't have much power from the left.
You
Didn't
make
Kobe
contact
do
there?
that when he
Spray
like
hitter.
when he broke some fingers in his hand, he started shooting lefty?
I love
Yep.
that. Instead of passing, he still just put it. He still
I
got
know,
up his
that's the-
shots.
He was like, nah.
He's like pulling up to the
I'm
left.
shooting
It's
lefty.
like,
I'm still a
dude.
better option, boys.
Are you gonna give it to Luke Walton? Yeah.
Real confidence in your teammates there.
So funny. Okay, so I am up. I think I'm gonna go Nicole McManus.
Okay. Or
So
McManua.
McManu, yeah. No, so she has a ton of ultra experience. She's probably raced, I don't know, like in her Spartan career, easily 50 races. But I remember she won the Lake Tahoe 2019 Ultra Beast back when you know how they used to have like an ultra world
That was an
championship.
easy year, though.
It doesn't matter. So I'm looking her up. She
I'm
has
kidding. I
also
DNF that year.
oh that was the Chris Brown year. You're right. Yeah. So she's better than you.
What place did she get?
She got first there.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
nice.
So
cold.
Aspen a couple months before that course was brutal, and she got third there. She also won the SoCal Ultra in 2019, the Central California Ultra. So she did like 5 Ultra Beasts in the same year. That's a ton. She got second in Utah 2021 Ultra Beast, several other wins, Lebec, San Luis Obispo, and earlier this year she got third at the Monterey Sprint. So yeah, I'm feeling good about this pick.
All right. Who else?
I think I'm gonna go Samuel Costella. Was he in Alula? Because he's a really good ultra athlete. I think he's from Portugal. I hope I didn't get that wrong, but he's been racing for a long time.
Don't know.
Okay, so he's been racing since 2015. Came over to Tahoe a couple times. He at the first Trifecta World Championship in Greece, he got 4th in the beast, 2nd in the sprint, against pretty solid competition. He got 32nd at Morzine European Championship in 2018, 65th at Tahoe 20. Oh, we must have been like right next to each other. And yeah, in 2018 Trifecta Worlds, he has 3 top 9 finishes. But he's done a ton of work, a ton of ultra races. He got 2nd in the 2021 Ultra Beast in Morzine. He did Andorra. He won that one. Tenerife. He ended up winning that one for ultra. Yeah, he's got a ton of ultra experience. He got 4th in Andorra earlier this year, a couple months ago. So
All right.
he'll do well.
BK, what you got?
I'm gonna take I'm gonna say this wrong, but Yvonne Sue, I believe is pronounced.
XU?
Someone will correct me. Yeah. Yeah, she won the Jakarta race to start off the series over there, and as of right now is one of the top racers in Indonesia.
BK's
Yeah.
locked in APAC. I had no idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta stay on your level.
Yeah, so
Sheesh.
she has done
She's got niche down.
yeah, she's done 8 races in her life. She won 7 or 6 of her first 7. So
All right.
We don't
BK's
know
looking
how that's
pretty
going to
good.
translate to Morzine Mountains, but you win a series race. I believe the person on the other podium was Gabe Heck. So
Nice.
in Singapore.
I thought it was Jakarta.
The Jakarta Sprint. Yeah, she did win that one. Gabe was. Yeah, he won a race earlier this year that was a national series for Indonesia. You're right.
So anyway, I
Never-
don't know what she can do in an ultra. That's
You've-
just
yeah,
full disclosure. I don't know, but she's won things.
Yvonne has 1 race over an hour 49 in her history, and that was a beast in Thailand. So, all right, bottom line, she can run in humid conditions, and you know what we say about humidity and elevation. Like if you can survive humidity, you're probably gonna at least be able to survive the elevation because of the nasty conditions. It's definitely a good pick.
All right.
And Bracken actually knew stuff about her, so I'm impressed.
You
Come
don't know
on, man.
You don't know shit.
Come on, man.
I'm going Guanella, Guanel, Guadelere,
You're just
Ladane. I was like, that sounds French to me.
Ladang. Yeah.
GGLD.
Flows off the tongue. All right, let's hear about her.
Got nothing. You tell me.
All right, let me just look her up. So she has 5 races in her life. Last year at Morzine, she got 8th place elite in the Ultra Beast. She did a couple races in France. Valmoro, those are winter races. She's consistently in like that 6th to 9th place range in the elite category, but she did run Morzine Ultra last year, so
She's got a
that's
lot of
at
room
least
to improve.
proof of concept.
A lot of room to improve. Then give me Daniel Elfers.
Oh,
Do you know about him?
BK, fill me in.
his last race, I believe, was the Montana Ultra.
Montana Super, which he ran the day after the Ultra, which
Oh.
he finished 4th in his age group in the 35 to 39 division, 14th overall.
Nice.
He
Let's
did
go.
win the Seattle Ultra last year.
Maybe he had cramps in Montana.
Yeah. Got 4th place elite in San Luis Obispo, 2nd place San Jose Ultra this year. Yeah, he's an ultra runner, realistically.
It's gonna be a war out there.
Yep.
He's ready.
Yeah,
Be a war.
that's the intel. You got boots on the ground. He's war ready.
He's from the U.S. of A. He's out there. He's not gonna go over there for nothing. BK.
All right, I want
Must pick a guy.
Sven Lusty. Lusty? I hope it's Lusty.
That'd be nice.
Either one.
Lusty Sven is on my team.
So he was actually going to be my next pick.
Man. Nice
He's
job.
Swiss.
Yeah. Do you want to know who's won on the men's side, the Ultra Beast in Morzine the past 2 years? This
Who?
guy.
Sven
Wow.
Lusty. He's been on the
Good pick,
podium
BK.
at OCR somethings in Switzerland, going back to like 2022 or something.
OCR somethings. You heard it
OCR
here.
somethings. You
Yep.
heard it here first.
These are good picks.
He's a guy who's been on the podium. He's won ultras, and the Swiss are nasty. They've got
That's all Emmanuel
mountains.
Defoe did.
Yeah.
I like it.
Janka lives in Switzerland now. Like it's a good pick.
Lusty
work.
Sven. And you don't pass up on a guy named Sven.
Should have done better.
How can't you?
Jack, what you got? Two to go.
All right. We've already talked about racers in Asia so far with Yvonne. I'm going Davide Liu.
Nice.
Do you guys know about him?
Nope.
He has been destroying the scene in China for like the past year or so. He's maybe the past 2 years, but
Fast.
yeah, he's like a 1:0 high half marathoner, like faster than Kirk. So he's got some legs. But
Catching strays out here.
yeah, seriously. But he's originally from Italy, but over the past since 2023. All right, how many races did he run last year? He did 18 races and he missed the podium 4 times last year. Never worse than 5th. He's winning or 2nd place in basically every national series race over there. From Italy originally, so this might be just a trip home for him, but he's always up on the leaderboard for like most podiums in a year. And if you've got those running legs, I think you're going to do well. And just looking at some of these courses in Taiwan, for instance, or some of the other ones in China, these are hilly courses that he did well on. I know he's definitely a little bit better in the beast versus the sprints is what it looks like. So I think having that endurance of the marathoner helps.
All right. Wild card.
I'm picking Rylan. Why not?
All
At this
right.
point,
All right.
truly, I do not think he's racing, but why not? It's either him or KBB.
BK. Wild card.
Hot call.
A week or 2 weeks after, why is he saying female? 2 weeks after Broken Arrow.
Yeah. It's a great turnaround.
Why not? Yeah. He's known for his international travel.
Give me just Valentin Girard. Gerard.
You want to pick Atkins?
Not picking Atkins.
All right.
There we go.
In
Let me-
the books.
Let me just look up Valentine he's run 4 races. He got 9th place at the Morzine Ultra in 2022 and
Hey.
11th in 2023. So
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Been on the course.
He's gonna finish.
He's gonna
He's gonna be
finish.
the only
He
wild
will
card who
finish.
starts and finishes.
Yeah, he's gonna
Yeah.
finish. You could very well score on this squad.
Can I
Yep.
change to KBB? I feel like it's disrespectful to my team.
I'll allow it.
He's the
I'll allow
patron
it.
saint of
Yeah.
Kirk and Bracken.
He's the wild card.
All right. Chris Brown.
Thank you.
If you win, it doesn't count, but that's fine.
Agreed.
All right, quick little recap. I picked first, got Miriam Guillaume-Boisset, Thibaut Jean, Cassandra Gill, Nicole McManus, Samuel Costella, Davide Liu, and I'm taking a wild card pick with Rylan Shadig.
Ricky Evenson, Nikolai Dom, Elmer King, Sabrina Dalio, Ivan Su, Sven Lusty, and Chris Bob Brown, also Lusty.
I got Luca Pescolderone, Petra Arvella, Hannah Francosa, Miguel Labranche, GGLD, Daniel Elfers,
give up.
and Valentine Gerard.
We're gonna see how it goes. This
Nice
is gonna
job.
be.
We're not going to see anything.
A
We're gonna
question
see a lot
for
of
the
things.
statistician.
Let's hear it.
Of the people picked, how many have world championship podiums in their history?
Spartan or OCR Worlds?
Let's say both.
Okay.
I'll even include trifecta.
All right. Miriam, Ulrika, Nikolai, Luca. I mean, I'm not counting Rylan because of that, because that's just a guess. Thibaut has a European podium. Nicole won an unofficial Ultra World Champs that year.
That
So
was an
you're
ultra
looking
at world champs.
yeah.
just to be
So it's 4 to 6, yeah.
Okay.
But there are going to be more.
It's better than I thought.
Yeah.
There's going to be more. Yes. There will be 3 more on each side.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. So those are our picks. Watch the race.
Get locked in. Watch
Get
the race. We're
locked
going to have
in.
more world champions going to be crowned. What we need on Spartan. More world championships. Less athletes attending.
They used to have a world championship for the Ultra, so
They did?
Bracken benefited from it.
Oh, that's right. That's why he's on the top
Yeah.
20 list.
I got that asterisk podium.
16th. Yeah.
You're on there.
Although I think we moved Basilico ahead of you safely at this point.
I'm going to protest that.
Protest
Was he
it.
done?
We don't want to jump. We don't want.
Was he done?
We don't want.
Does he have a world championship podium?
We'll settle this at the end of the year.
Does he have a world championship podium?
Yeah.
When?
Count that silly
This
piece.
is,
We're not counting
Abu
JV
Dhabi.
Sunday sprints.
Yeah, Sunday sprints.
We're not counting. We have a clerical error after the fact.
Clerical
I think
era.
every person on the planet would agree that he doesn't
He doesn't
have a world
hold
championship podium,
yeah.
and I have too. And
Alright.
that he's
You convinced
significantly
me.
better than me.
These arguments are good,
Yeah.
and I like what you're saying here. You guys want to talk about track and field?
Do I? Yeah,
Before we
let's
do,
go.
I want to see Luca and Hawk Call. That's just my final point here. I want to see those two open up strides against each other and go.
Basilica.
Luca or Basilico?
Sorry, not Luca. Yeah, Basilico. And
But
Hawk
Honestly,
Call.
going uphill, Luca might give Hawk a run for his money.
I just want to see those two open strides open together.
I would,
Sick.
yeah. Who else would be in that mix? Like best strides. I think in a super, Kempson had a great one. Yeah. Anyway,
That's all.
time to talk
Yeah,
track.
now we talk.
Should we talk about the 5K women's
Rich,
5K because we didn't get a chance to?
You're like a week late on this thing.
I'm so past
Just-
that. I don't even
yeah.
care anymore.
No, I want to talk about it. Let's do
I watched it twice. It was sick.
it. That had a
But
great
we'll
finish.
we'll catch it. There's other pieces we can talk. The 1500 and 10K. We can revert. We can talk back to
All right.
the 5K. So we want to start the women's steeple.
No, just go in order like we did
We
last
got
week.
takes. I
5K
think
still.
I think that's where we're at.
Okay. In order.
Women's steeple. That was the next final.
You're skipping past the 5K?
We can talk back about it once we talk about the 10K and the 15.
Okay, fair enough, because there
Maybe-
were doubles.
The steeple was a good race. Val Constein just was like, I'm taking this. Give me it.
Yeah.
It's crazy how fast everything was. There wasn't that many like tactical races in here. I mean, outside of like the long ones, both 10Ks were, not incredibly fast.
But that was heat.
I
Right.
have never watched a steepler get the yips at a championship race before.
Who's
That
talking about
was
the person who was leading?
yeah.
I don't even know if she had the yips. I think that she gave herself that type of lead because she's not good at she had to kind of take that side step. She did it on every single one. I feel like that's
But
just
you
how
could
she
see she
hurdles.
was it took her by surprise each time. Suddenly she'd like jerk and it didn't look planned. It wasn't a Euro step. She wasn't Euro stepping this like in rhythm. Her body just took
Travel.
over and did something out of her control every time.
But that's
She
why
had the
think
yips.
I think that's why she took a lead because she
Got
needed the
nervous.
space because
And
of
we're
her hurdle
talking
form. Her hurdle
I
form
agree.
can't work in a crowd. I think she
But
just
she didn't do
wasn't good
that
at
the
the hurdles.
previous round.
Is that true? Did you go back and check?
Yes, no.
No, you
Bracken's
didn't.
making up stuff again. Yeah.
We all watched it though. We would have noticed.
I mean, maybe she was in a crowd. She was in more of the
Yeah.
crowd. She wasn't leading in the
No.
or
And
maybe
if you're going to
go-
lead something, you'd
I
lead the
wasn't
prelim.
I wasn't locked into the prelim because it was like 5 people. I did watch it, but it was probably the least I was paying attention to.
That was the strangest penultimate steps I've ever seen.
Yeah.
She
We're talking Annie
was,
Rodenfels, right? That was what it was.
I honestly can't even.
I think it was-
You finished way back.
Yeah. 8th place. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It was
bottom
painful
line,
to watch.
she still, despite all of that, and she finished in 8th, so it doesn't matter. But she got the Olympic standard 9:23, despite all that weird hesitancy.
That's crazy.
Our women's
Front
steeplers are
running,
legit.
She went out in 9 flat pace, and then just paid for going out fast. But my thought initially was she was just going out fast just because she didn't think anyone else would go with her, and maybe she was gonna try to just hang on and be one, get 3rd place instead of trying to survive a kick with everybody else.
I think it's because she sucks at hurdles and needs room to. Go
I thought she
over.
was just going to get away, and then she started glitching, and I realized, oh no.
She did it right away. It was like
That
from
was
the
so
first
weird.
lap she was doing it. She was
Mhm.
doing it
Ugh.
every time because I was like, what the fuck? But
So I think that our top end with Emma it really hid the growing depth of the hurdle of the steeple field, that for so many years it was just like, what was it, her and
Courtney
what's
Frericks,
Frericks.
Who also is out. Yeah.
she has the record,
And
I
they-
believe, right?
They're phenomenal. And Kirk and I just put together a watch list in an episode of what races to watch to get into watching. And that
Oh, yeah.
that what was that 2017 steeple championship with her and Frericks.
World champs. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's phenomenal. But I think it masked what was happening. And I think they were probably part of like they were the accelerant
Mhm,
on
mhm.
this sport. But as soon as they dropped off, I thought, and here we go. Back to mediocrity. And no, suddenly we have a whole crop of young, talented steeplechasers that I didn't know was there. And that's pretty cool.
It's really
3
fast.
years.
Like, yeah.
3 years before, Emma Coburn went 9:09 at the same meet, and you had 3 women, all of them on the podium this year,
Yeah.
beat that time, and you almost would have had a 4th if who was it? Olivia tripped at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Oh
heartbreaking.
my God, that's right. Olivia Markevich.
Literally
out
the
of it?
last.
Notre Dame. She was not out of it.
No,
She wasn't going to take third.
You
She was starting to get gapped and then she fell, but she still was going to run a phenomenal time.
She had
It's
she
unintuitive.
was
back
out
and
of
rewatch it?
gas. She was out of gas. I
70
watched
meters left, and they're done with
last
the hurdles.
She
at
was
that
trying
point.
to kick, and she was just
Yeah.
out because you could see when she got up how spent she was. She could barely move.
It looked like she
So
got hurt.
maybe not, but she
That,
was
yeah.
right in it.
That was like when you hit your 100th wall ball, and you're like, I can't do that anymore, and then you gotta
That's
get up again.
That's got to be a rough way to go into an
Yeah.
off season. I mean, she's a collegiate athlete. She was a collegiate athlete,
Mhm.
and she's young, so she'll be back. But just thinking about falling down, because you can't say for sure, because she was there.
Yeah.
She was there.
If you watch it, they were here and the separation started, and then she fell.
Yeah.
Either way, I think it's the best way, as long as she's not injured, because it looked like she might have hurt her knee. If she's not injured, that's the best way to start your off season. If you're going to take
Uh-huh.
fourth, start it pissed off.
That's going to be haunting.
So add in Emma and Courtney, and you've got basically, and then assuming Olivia would have finished sub 9:10, even if she was a second back right there, she's still running at a 9:08. You've got 6 women running 9:08 or faster in the steeplechase. That's a deep, deep field right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, really good.
8:55 is the fastest time this year. That was set at the pre-classic earlier.
Hmm.
So
Nice.
not too far off.
Not
They
too
went
far off.
305, 303, 254. So Val can kick.
The next
Cane face.
final that she does, she was like yeah, I think even Kara Gashard
Commentators
called
are
us like,
saying
well,
it,
she's
yeah.
running. Looks like she's running a little scared here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
She's terrified.
desperation.
Yep.
Yeah, it was awesome. I think the 110 hurdles.
Well, Rich, you did miss the 400 open. We didn't talk about that last time,
Right.
the
we
men,
didn't. So,
which is worth talking about. That was on Monday. So
Yeah.
we just jumped ahead to Thursday.
Quincy Hall, he's a dog, man. He says it, and he really is. He closes, just flailing his arms. He does not slow down in that last 100. Or I'm sure he does, but everyone else is rigging worse.
He
There's
had
something
this-
genetic about that. There was this kid coming up through the ranks, and I remember at World Championships in the prelims, like, watch out for this 17-year-old kid from, I want to say like Trinidad and Tobago or whatever it was. And they're like, his coach says he does not tie up. And it turned out to be Karani James.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And he was just
Granada.
long stride all the way down the home stretch. I'm like, he didn't tie up. That's incredible. And then he went on to become like the best
One of
400
the
meter
best
runner
ever.
of his generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's like that genetic component to you tie up or you don't. And it doesn't matter how much training you do, like at your core, you're still one of those two people. And Quincy doesn't tie up.
Quincy Wilson doesn't really tie up like that either. They both look bad. They both
Mhm.
kind of set back and arms are a little bit wider. But Quincy
All right.
Wilson closes hard too. The high school kid.
And he's 16. But what's up with Quincy in the 400? Because Michael Norman's coach is Quincy Watts. It's like you have 3 of the top,
There we go.
400 runners of U.S. history are named Quincy. That's not too common, I'd say.
Like I said, our boy Matt Bowling, if this was like a 320,
Yeah.
he'd be an Olympian, man.
He's a tire upper.
Oh, well, he just doesn't know how to pace this. Like he just knows how to-
Bowling was 0.17 behind Norman at 300. Second place.
He just
And
goes
then
out too
faded
hard.
to 8th. Yeah.
He's so fast that it's probably hard for him to not. But
There
Yeah.
are people who can run fast and relax, and those who fast and thrash, and he's a thrasher. Like,
Bowling
he is
went out in-
every fiber of
head
every
goes.
muscle all out.
Yeah.
He went out in 10:68 for his opening 100 from
That's
a
awesome.
dead start. That's
Oh yeah, I guess he was
Little
fast.
too
Like, he
quick.
shouldn't be going out that fast.
no one should. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I mean, yeah, I guess because even Michael Norman went out too hard. He tied up. He
Mhm.
was out in 10:82. That's insane, though. They're going out a sub 11 for
Even in the 100
crazy.
and
Yeah.
200, the best starters rarely win. There's almost no event on earth that blasting a start is helpful other than the 60 indoor.
What happened with Christian Coleman?
Yeah.
Shakari
Yeah.
Richardson in the 200 didn't happen.
If the 200 is too long to overrun the first 100, the 400 is.
400. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, right.
And Chris Bailey
He's
hanging
still
on for
learning. That was crazy.
hanging on for third. Because he was in 5th place, and then you obviously had Bowling, and it looks like Caleb and Cray ended up fading a little bit down the home stretch. But Vernon Norwood was closing hard, and to miss out by 500ths of a second,
That's
he went
tough.
from 9th to 4th in the home stretch. That's rough.
He's a guy who's been a relay staple. Last year, he won U.S. last year, I believe, and went individually at Worlds, and to just miss out. He's on the backside of his career, so that's
Yeah.
a tough one. And Michael
He
Norman,
did win gold in that the men's only, and then third in the mixed for 4x4 last time. Ton of
What-
4x4 world wins.
at Worlds, there's not a dominant athlete worldwide right now, right?
In the 400, no.
No.
So Michael Norman, if he gets into shape, Quincy Hall, like he got second last year at Worlds, right?
Norman's got to slow down at the beginning.
Who won Worlds last year?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know off the top of my head.
I'll look it up real fast. But any of these guys could win. U.S.
Yeah.
is just so nasty.
I almost
Yeah.
thought it was South or Central America.
Yeah, like Puerto Rico or something. Like there was,
hit me with that again,
yeah,
Jack.
or no, Dominican Republic. There's a really good 400 runner from there
On the women's side,
on the women's side.
or is that Cuba?
We're nailing it.
We're crushing.
Killing it.
All right. let's
I
move
thought it
on.
was Dominican Republic for the
The
men.
best is when we correct someone else's guess with another guess and then second guess our guess.
Isn't that our whole draft?
Oh, it was a Jamaican.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So it was Antonio Watson, and then it was a Brit, Matt Hudson Smith, and then it was Quincy Hall.
Okay.
Yes, the Polino is from Dominican Republic on the women's
Okay.
side.
Well,
So
you're
I
right.
was kind of right. I was more right than
Sorta.
any of you guys on like something else
Sorta,
that we weren't really talking about.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe the 400 hurdler.
We're trying for
also.
MVP
Yeah.
this episode.
I'm
Yeah.
smoking it right now.
But 44-2-2 ended up winning last time. And Vernon Norwood 44-39 versus 44-37 ended up finishing in fourth. That is rough. He just can't catch a break. But anyway, 400 is good.
We want to
It's-
talk about 110 hurdles, or we?
Yeah, do it quickly.
Yeah, quickly.
Grant Holloway's just him. He's on his
He is.
redemption tour. If he
But
can,
we're also good behind him.
yeah. They like these guys. Freddie Crittenton. He had Grant Holloway had to fight. He didn't have to fight for anything up in this entire meet, but he did have to fight for that last.
He is such a
meters or
good
so.
starter. It's unreal how quickly that guy within first like 8 steps, he's already a step ahead of everybody somehow.
He's also one of our only likable male sprinters, which really matters to me.
Yeah.
That's not. That's like a oxymoron for you.
Yeah, because I'm
See, I
a
like-
US sprint hater.
I like
and
Rye
him.
Benjamin. I like him
And then Sha'Carri's
Yeah.
grown on me.
a little bit.
I really have liked her interviews. I've liked everything she's doing.
Yeah,
She's owning it. She's moving forward. She's like, you're seeing growth, and I'm
I agree.
on board with that.
I'll take.
Yep.
I agree with this.
So this is the first.
Cordell Tinch.
fir-
He's Midwest, isn't he?
I thought he was the Wisconsin guy.
Come on, you gotta
Yeah.
claim him, BK.
Yeah.
Well, let me know where he's at.
You tell us.
Pretty sure and he was like, wasn't he D2 or D3 too? I think he went to a school called Pitt. It was like called Pitt or Pittsburgh, but wasn't.
Like the
Yeah.
Kansas one?
It was something different.
Yeah.
Like Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah,
Yeah. Washington University in St. Louis. Yeah.
What
but
do you
yeah,
got
this
for
is-
me, Rich?
Hometown, Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Cheesehead.
He's a dog.
Cheesehead.
We got 2 Wisconsin sprinters at the Olympics.
Did
We just
the
don't have anyone slow up here.
Cordell Tinch did not qualify.
We had one.
There was a woman who was from something lake. Everything's something lake out there.
Yep.
She was a 100 hurdler. I don't believe that she did make it.
No, she did not.
Bayport High School. You locked in?
Aware of it.
That's where he's from.
It's behind like Green Bay Preble and things like that.
Cordell Tinch.
Yeah. So this is the first race ever where 3 people ended up breaking 13 seconds in the 110 hurdles.
Wow,
That-
really?
Crazy. Yeah.
It made
Ever.
news last Worlds or Olympics, whatever it was, when first and second did.
Yeah.
Now we just had 3 at the same trials.
That's crazy.
Because at Worlds last year, Grant Holloway won in 12:96, and that's what third place Daniel Roberts ended up getting. He is just a fighter. Like every single time that there's a team to make for the hurdles, Daniel Roberts gets on there, and it's like if he was born in a different era, Grant Holloway didn't exist. Might be talking about Daniel Roberts a lot more
Mm.
Is he the one who hasn't missed a team that he was there
in
to
like
make?
7 years or something like that. Yeah.
Because they kind of came up together.
Yep.
20K race walk?
You take it.
I don't know why this
I'm-
is a sport.
I missed that one.
I
Yeah.
don't care who I offend with this, and I don't know why this is a sport.
How fast? I want to see
20,
that.
20K and 124. What does that
Okay.
mean?
That's
They're doing
128, probably like 630 miles roughly.
they're doing
Jared knew he had
411s
the
for
best analogy for
kilometer.
this.
Yeah.
He said, "Why would I want to watch someone do something but slower?" He said this would be like motocross, but if you went over all the jumps and everything, but had to keep your tires on the dirt the whole time. You're just slowly going
Yeah.
up and down so you don't gain air. It's like that's what we're watching here. And I thought, yeah, you're exactly right. I can't argue that. This is not something that belongs. If this is in the Olympics and breakdancing is, that tells you what they think of OCR. We're never getting it.
Yeah.
Good. I don't almost at this point it's like hearing the general public be like, "Do you see this event that's in Does obstacle course racing? Are you kidding me? Breakdancing and obstacle course racing?
The strangest thing of all of this is that you show race walking to any average person and they're going to laugh. And it's one of the most doped sports on the planet. Like
Yeah.
people are actively cheating in order to become good at a laughable sport.
What could it possibly be doing for them? Like, what is it that we're working? What's just? It's got to be mostly
It's the same as
aerobic,
running.
right?
Are they running
not the
a lot of
same
the
as
time?
running.
Like they can't
First of all,
just
they're
be race
cheating their
walk.
stride constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I can see there'd be cheating for sure. But like doping,
Yeah, man. But that's the point. Like you're doping to get good at something that people think is a joke. I just don't understand the sport.
OCR.
Is
How much
race
money is
wa-
in the race walking?
Oh,
What are the
ton.
groupies like? Like what are the perks to
How
this
many-
sport?
How many podcasts? How many podcasts we got on the race walking scene?
Look that up. That would be
I don't know.
hilarious if there is one.
I bet they're mobbed at their hotels.
Talking
That's that
race
guy
walking.
with the swivel hips.
All right.
Guy's got
So
hips.
walking and rolling with America's race walking queen. And then there's a talking race walking. And one of them is season 2, episode 18 came out 2 weeks ago. So they're like probably 30, 40 episodes on.
Got to work
some
on that
podcast
frequency.
about it.
2 weeks
Yeah.
ago, I need to get my weekly dosage
Of race
of
walking
race walk
updates.
talk.
Yep.
Race
Yep.
walk talk. Yeah, because they definitely can talk while they're racing, right? They're talking. They're aerobic.
I gotta assume.
What's their
right?
heart rate? You think in this?
I mean, have you ever tried walking 9 miles an
Yeah.
hour? Like that, it's
Yeah.
probably up there, to be honest.
Yeah,
Although,
I did an exercise walking class. I've said this, right? In
You said
college, I
this.
did exercise walking and we cranked it for our time trial at the end of the year. And it was so painful on the front of my shins.
Yeah.
My legs were burning.
But your
you
heart
had some
rate,
super shoes.
We talked the whole time.
yeah, muscularly you're fine.
A lot of
You were-
motion.
You're in zone 2. You were in zone 2 for sure.
Yeah,
What
it's
shoes
like me.
you wearing?
Dude, the shape ups.
I might even wear Skechers for this.
Skechers shape ups.
I mean, I might even wear Ultras. This might be my time.
Yeah, let's
oh
do
my
it.
goodness, negative
All right.
energy return.
Moving on to the women's 200.
Yeah. This was
Gabby
I was
Thomas is
I was
good.
excited about this one. The 200s in general. 200 is just like a fun race. Like the
Event.
100 is, they get the fastest person on earth, but I really think that's the 200. This because
I
the
like
top
it.
speed that is held has to be faster, right?
I like
it
it.
is.
There is an endurance component to it, despite being an all-out sprint. Because like you have to hang on a little bit, and I think that's why I like it a little bit. No, not endurance in the typical way, but like, can you sustain your top end speed?
I think it's like power. Yeah, I guess it's true. Like
Sustained power.
looking at these athletes, like Gabby Thomas versus Sha'Carri Richardson, Gabby Thomas is just more powerful,
Yes.
and Sha'Carri is just like quick.
Sha'Carri's a classic sprinter who can't jog. Even the 200, she looks a little bit awkward down the home stretch. She's just like prancing foot to foot. There's a difference between the strides
Mhm.
that can be working in 100 and a 2.
Like I don't want to see Sha'Carri run a 400, but I do want to see Gabby Thomas on a 400.
I would agree.
Well, she is a good 400 runner. I thought she was on the 4x4 team in the Olympics in the past. I thought.
Yeah, we're gonna get her and Sydney on the 4x4.
No, Gabby Thomas was on the 4x1. Interesting. And they got second. I thought she was
I
on the
looked-
4x4.
I looked this last week just to see how dominant our women are in the 400. And of the top 20 performances individually, not 20 times, top
Yeah.
20 individuals in the world, we have 13 this year prior to
Before this meet?
maybe after this meet, either before or after the, I don't remember what, maybe in the middle of the
Wow,
rounds. We had
that's
13 of the
crazy.
top 20 women in the world, which means in theory, we could put 2 teams on the podium.
Could we put 3 teams in like the top 5? Yeah,
Yes,
right.
I think
You
we
could
could do 3
fill
of the
out
top
the
5.
finals besides like Shawnee Miller.
And that's without a thing Mo.
right.
And that's without who else
Gabby
hadn't
Thomas.
run one. Gabby hadn't
Well,
run
Sydney
one.
already did. She
Sydney
didn't.
hadn't
And I thought there was one other. We might legitimately have 16 of the best like 22 in the world.
Unreal.
Felt good
Crazy.
for Brittany Brown on this one. She looked great in the
Yeah.
heats.
Outside
So,
also.
yeah.
7, 8, 9 ended up getting on the
They
team.
made a good point. Like it's it was probably Otto who's like, oh, you get to the straightaway faster when you're on the
Mhm.
outside, which is like, I guess you kind of do, right? You're closer to it.
You ever watch Karsten Warholm in the 400 hurdles? He's always asking to be in like lane 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure he figured something out there about keeping his speed up.
In college, I loved an outside lane. I let off the 4x4 more often than not. And I'd always love an outside lane,
Opening in 10-8.
pretty much.
Bowling
Because you can
style.
just run relaxed until you feel the field catching you, and then you can get to work rather than worrying about if you start out and there are starters, it really can demoralize you. So if you're the type that doesn't want to chase, you can just run out in lane 8 or 9 until you feel that inside come up, and then you start accelerating. And I think this is the most relaxed way to run a 4.
Mm.
I mean, Wade Van Niekerk, he ended up setting the world record in the outside lane also.
Yeah.
A couple Olympics ago. There's something to it.
I don't have a good PR, but it came in lane 9.
Felt good for Mackenzie Long after a
Oh, yeah.
disappointing 100 meter.
Definitely rooting for her.
She has
Yeah.
very solid turnover. Like she looks like she seems like she is the fastest one out there.
There's great range.
Yeah. Like it'd be interesting to see her in a 400
Yeah. Yeah, she's
because she has
I
the
was definitely
build, but
rooting for
her stride is a little bit more 100 200y.
because she ended up winning the 200 outdoors and the 100 outdoors at NCAA's this past year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was the best by far.
Yeah.
10K?
Well, Shikari missed the team. I thought we were gonna mention that,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Finished outside.
I guess
but,
we sort of went into it. But
Yeah.
Rich predicted that.
I did. I said
I
she
didn't.
wouldn't make it.
She's not as good at the 200.
No,
I
I,
thought
just thought
Abby
she was
Steiner-
on one right now.
I thought Abby Steiner was gonna do it, but I should have realized that she was dealing with a little bit of an injury.
Yeah, she hasn't been able to get to her peak performance
Mhm.
for a couple of years now. At least 2, I guess. Maybe not a couple.
Yep.
But
That's the downside of the sprints. It's not like a 5K where you're like, if we can just kill a few of these laps in the middle of the race, and if I can get to the end, maybe I can make up for some fitness. But like, there's no margin in the sprints, none whatsoever.
That's also why I think that the young athletes can do better in the sprints at like a level like this, because you don't get mixed up into the race. There's just like less time to think about what's happening. You just have to execute because there's no time in the middle to get lost. So when we see these young athletes come out, I think there was a high schooler in the women's 15.
Sadie Engelhart.
And the girl in the 5K actually did fairly well. Who was Foot
She
Locker
hung around
champ
for a while.
Yeah. I forget her name. But in the 10K, any surprises here in the top 3? Not really, right?
Should have stuck with my original picks as we were talking in the live chat.
We had Weenie Kaladi take the win. She was the only one who has the standard. She was like top 10 at Cross World.
Both are going to get in though.
Yeah.
With
then
the new
Parker
world
Valby.
rankings, I think they're like 26, 27.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Carissa Schweitzer.
So the surprise to me was how Valby took second.
I know.
The only thing she doesn't have, she had, and she learned from the 5K to the 10. And that's like a quick turnaround in how to improve.
It's also twice the distance, so it's like the kick will be diminished from the faster runners.
67.
She was ready. I think she had a plan for the first time ever.
She didn't
Maybe I'm
lead.
giving her too much credit.
Where did she go? At 1600? 2K?
So 8,400. So yeah, after 8K, they dropped it from 75, 73, 70. So yeah, they started hammering or right around 5
About
miles.
2K to go. Yeah, so about okay. Yes, and that's what I thought would be appropriate for where she was here, and that really did blow everything open.
I thought we were going to see it at 5K, and she waited.
You thought you thought it was gonna be earlier.
Halfway.
I thought she was going to go at halfway. Yeah.
Well, if you're already at a point where the standard isn't going to happen,
Yeah.
and being able to stretch it that way, dropping
they
it
went
to
out in like
70s is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Because they went out in like
Whoa.
16,
Whoa.
10.
Whoa.
See, you guys, I'm over here.
What happened to my audio? You hear that?
Bad audio, all entire episode. You guys are like, I didn't notice. Jack, for 1 second, it's like, my ears.
There you
Put
go.
that back
How's it
in.
Yours
better now?
didn't go to that though.
Yeah, you're better.
Oh.
You're back.
All right, I'm back. But yeah, they went out in like 16:10, so you knew that wasn't going to be a qualifier. So I think she made the right move.
But man, she's got that dog in her, dude. She really does. She
I
really
mean,
does.
we also need to talk about Winnie Colati, who got overtaken and then came back for her kit. Like, I can't remember a time she's like, all right, I'm making my move. Crap, I got passed. I'm gonna out sprint you on the home stretch. And all this happened in the final 150. That was impressive.
That was crazy. That was a great finish. Great race.
And I'll say Carissa had a meet I didn't think she had in her.
Mm-hmm.
She just came out and was clearly better than almost everyone else and did it twice. And I didn't think she had that type of fitness right now.
And I guess that's another thing that separates the distance from the sprints, like Carissa and Parker is even an example of this. You can just build such a capacity that if you are healthy on the day, where like you just need to be so finely tuned as a sprinter that Abby Steiner or countless sprinters this happens to. If you're just like off for a little bit,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Give
You're
a
not gonna
wrong
be there.
twitch, like Bracken said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where
You can even gain confidence in the middle of a 10K.
Yeah.
right.
Like Chris Zielinski's American record, he almost stepped off the track. He was going to quit, and then he stayed on for another lap, and then they started like clicking. And he was like, "Oh
27's
man, maybe I
happening."
can do this." Like
Yeah.
that doesn't happen in a 200. Outside of maybe catching someone, if you're feeling crappy at the start, like you're done.
Right. It's 20 seconds long.
Yeah. No, she definitely delivered two events. She's an Olympian. So
Yeah.
and what about that first one, Rich? It's time to talk about that 5K.
But let's just bring it back to the 5K. We're dying. We're dying to do it because that was. I mean, Parker took it from the start in that one, and I
Yeah.
think that was an appropriate way for her to run it. All she needed to do was drop one of those three.
Yeah.
Right. That's all she had to do, and she had the standard, so she can't like wait around. Like if she waits around in a 5K, the pace that she would have to move to make it decisive. I don't think she has that right now.
Mm-mm.
She's not going to blow
Not
a
yet.
field open like she could in a 10K, but she just took it from the front. It's like, hey, if I'm going to do it, hopefully one of these three just falls apart. And when the move happened, it was just like, oh, she just can't do that right now.
I'm looking at her splits right now. So she was essentially setting the pace. She went 258.66 for her second K. Third K, she went 258.68. So 0.02 different. And then 258.58. So she had a
Right.
swing of 1/10 of a second over 3 kilometers. Unreal consistent. She just knows her stride.
And then closed, and then she did get a little bit faster.
Yeah.
But everyone
Yeah.
else got
Everyone else
way
way
faster.
faster. Yeah.
Championship races are fascinating to me because what you talk about with the high school kids and sometimes the college kids who have run a time, and you see this at the pro distance a lot, that you can run 13 flat, but can you run 13 flat off 13:30 pace?
Mm-hmm.
People just don't have a 3:59 last mile in them, but they could have run 4:0 the whole way kind of thing. They can't handle the gear changes.
Mm-hmm.
But the opposite happens at these championship races when you expect that. This is going to be a sit and kick. These women are running multiple events and someone injects pace from the jump and people just aren't ready to hurt from that early on and they're never in it. And she did that. She took people by surprise, kind of like, okay, this is just a race from the start. And women who were capable of running that time couldn't run that time.
And she's just so fit, right? Like that's just a testament to Parker. She just put it there and it's like, come on, who can do this? Who's ready?
Yep.
We talk about it and the forums talk about it and the announcers talk about it every single championship race. If someone was just willing to set a pace, you could take the kickers out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And she proved that it's possible. If you're willing to be that person and risk the win, you can just make sure that no one's there at the end who doesn't belong there.
And Ellie's just so strong. And Elise Craney's also just
That was
strong.
a great
They're
kick down the home
professionals,
stretch.
right?
Yeah.
They're professionals. They've just been doing, and like the way Ellie is running since being back for a year and change, like it's way more strength oriented than I remember her
Yes.
being. But yeah,
Now
she just puts it out there, dude.
she is supposedly only doing the 15, not the double.
Which is smart.
I don't think she looked as good in the 15, so keep your legs fresh. That's what I would have done also.
I would not double anyone
No.
unless they were like
1 in
Ingebrigtsen
200.
or Bekele level. I don't see
Right.
any purpose to it. In fact, it hurt people at this trials.
Yep.
There are people in this trials that didn't make a single team because they tried making both teams.
Shamir Little did that, right?
400.
Cooper Tier.
Yeah.
Cooper Tier, right? But like,
Mhm.
he didn't look great. But yeah, and that's something too at the international level right? Because chances are when we see and what we've seen in previous years, the Africans seem to be okay just sitting and waiting. Like the best of them. Somebody might take it, but in the past championship races, it seems like they just like let it wait and everyone just believes they have the kick. So in a 5K, I don't know. It just seems like that she's closer to everybody else in a 15 than in a 5K to me, just on a fitness level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to skip ahead, but like she was patient in the 5K. In the 15, she was like, I'm taking this from the front, kind of like what Parker did. And it worked out, but I think that the 5K rounds caught up to her.
For sure.
Yeah.
Both she and Cole Hocker showed that it doesn't matter how good you get, the
Yeah.
laws of nature still apply.
She had
Can't
5,000
kick every round all the way through
That's the
5
thing.
times.
Yeah.
5,000 semis, 5,000 finals, 15 prelim, 15 semi, 15 finals. So that's almost 15K of really fast racing and basically once a
closed.
day. Yeah.
They
exactly.
closed harder than they had to every single prelim.
Her-
and
she-
eventually it catches up to you.
Right.
yeah. And
Eventually
she,
you go to pull the trigger and there's not a bullet there.
and she sold out against Elise, getting her by 2/100th of a second.
And I'm thinking it's like, yeah, could she pull a Centro, right? Just like it's there, and when it's available, like she can take it. But she beat Sagai in a 3K
Yep.
indoor. Right?
She has the
So,
strength to go from further out if she wants to.
I think
right? Could she make like a Jakob kick?
I think so.
that might be part of the plan. Yeah.
They've now run 355, which you don't have to be any faster than that to win a gold medal.
Because the world record's 350.07. Or did they go sub 350? Did Faith end up getting that?
Her
That's
times
350.
crazy.
Oh.
She seems like on a different level.
Yeah.
Either way, though, like if you can run 355, you can kick off a 4 flat. 355 is fast enough.
Yeah. All right. 349.11 is the
Oh my
the
goodness.
world record. Yeah. 350.3 Gudov Sagai ended up running that earlier this year in China. But yeah, you almost had the podium in the women's 15 end up breaking the national record, but don't want to skip ahead too much.
Should we just go there because we're talking about it?
Let's do
Might
it.
as
Yeah.
well. Nikki Hiltz has leveled up this year.
She looked great.
Across the
they look
board,
great.
Nikki looks
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Nikki used to go up and down. She was there, and if the kicking was there, she was there, and if it wasn't, she wasn't. Sorry, if
Pronouns.
Nikki wasn't. If Nikki was in it, Nikki was in it. And if Nikki wasn't in it, Nikki didn't have it. But Nikki's had it every race this year.
Mm.
Ellie took out the field in 61-1. Like that race was serious right from the gun. There was gonna be no kick. And Nikki
Guaranteed.
outkicked everyone.
You can't be here at the end unless you belong.
Yep.
And there was a huge group of them. There was
Yeah.
like 6 athletes there. Yeah, like
8
How-
women broke 4.
that is
PBs
just
across the board.
That's just next level.
I want to say it was this calendar year Nikki broke for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Last year?
Like in the past year was the first time Nikki Hiltz broke 4 in the 1500.
I thought you
I'm
meant
fairly
broke as
certain
in
on
like
that.
fell apart.
And now we have 8 women, and Nikki's been a national champ twice now.
She won last year.
And now
for
we
sure.
have 8 women breaking 4 in the final.
previous to this race, 359.61 in July 2023 was Nikki Hiltz's PR. So she just took 4+ seconds off of it.
Wow. That's
Outrageous.
wild.
Late stage career too.
Yeah. When was Nikki in college?
This is Nick Willis stuff.
Yeah.
He's still breaking for Nick Willis. He's out here.
Yeah.
Shouts to Emily Mackay too. She's tough.
She runs like
Yep.
an athlete.
She doesn't seem to have that turnover that Ellie and Nikki have, but she's running as fast.
She was
She
patient.
runs like a high school kid who you just took off the soccer field and just jumps in a mile and just runs off of athleticism and grit.
And when you look at this, the rest of the field, like Sinclair Johnson, personal best, Corey McGee, personal best,
Yeah.
Elise Craney, like what do you like? You can't
Whole top
leave and
8.
be like upset. You're like, well,
No. And if anything,
they
like
ran at 355. What do we do?
Elise Cranny in 6th place after she basically got into that kick finish in the 5K, like she's got to be confident knowing she has a 357 in her legs. And hopefully it's not hopefully, she's only going to be doing the 5K because she didn't qualify in the 15. But I mean, she's got to like her chances at this point in the 5K if it's a slower race and has a kick.
Mhm.
It was crazy watching her in the 5K against Ellie, and then being like, I don't think she's gonna. And then watching Elise in the qualifying rounds, I was like, she's just not gonna be able to have that type of turnover. And she runs 3:57, and I'm thinking that in my head, that's how good this field has become. It's like
Mhm.
she's not fast enough.
Elise looks
I-
powerful.
not like
Yeah.
Ellie.
I think she did, but yeah.
I didn't think
They
she, I
were
didn't think she had that, like,
evenly matched in that 5K, and they run
Yeah.
the same way.
Yeah, that
I'm not
regardless.
surprised Ellie did not. I'm sorry, Elise did not make this. I didn't like the way she looked in the prelims.
The tough part is now you've got to go against Faith Kipyegon, Safana San, and then Gudaf Sagai.
Take
All-
Safan out of there.
Because she's quadrupling.
She's doing that
That's-
triple. She's not going to be herself.
That's
That's the
silly.
thing about these championships. Funky things happen. You don't race everyone at their best.
Mhm.
That's why I love to see these U.S. athletes pick one event and just hit it, because everyone else is they're playing these funny games.
Olympics Day on Peacock.
Should
Believe
be
so.
right.
Yeah, they have the logo or the rings everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Their player is killing me. I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to
Horrible.
watch later and then
And then
get
it
through
and then it
it.
deletes.
The
Like
play-
it kicks you out of it and you can't load it until the next day. And I'm like, I started this program 20 minutes late and you're kicking me out while I
Because it
actively have the
finished.
holding.
because it
And-
finished. Yeah, when it boots you, and you got to find yourself. And if you pull it up on the TV app, you can't rewind it if it's in if it's still going, but you can do it. You can cast it. It's a whole thing. This is just not
I can rewind it on mine.
on the TV. Well,
Yeah.
you cast it anyway, right? Don't you?
I was
use
using
No,
a
I-
Fire
a
Stick.
Roku or a
I have
stick
a
or
Roku
something.
stick. Yeah.
Yeah, like of like the smart TV with the app. Like it won't let me,
I was doing
Go
Fire
backwards.
Stick like you were doing, Rich, probably.
but it still doesn't.
Yeah.
Like it's still not seamless. Still not good.
A couple times it wouldn't let us fast forward. And I'm like, oh my goodness, Jack was right.
And you guys got to sit there and with the commercial free, and not even get the commercials. Get that Peacock with the P and then the music.
Yeah.
That's like ingrained in my brain.
It's
now.
annoying. Yeah. No, you
Mm-mm.
stop that. Yeah, I mean last
That's sexy, can I? That's what they're playing in the background.
yeah. And we had
It's like Ray J is a big Peacock. He's invested in Peacock.
He's
yeah,
a
we
big
had
peacock, man.
Jacinda Fleming last week commented on Race
Yeah.
Brand. She also was like, it's not
Agreed.
just my peacock. It's so frustrating. So hopefully it gets done or they fix that up pretty soon.
Men's 200. Another one I was looking forward to. I thought that Wisconsin boy was going to bring it.
He
He
did.
bring
He
it.
did.
He did.
Yeah.
He just
did
ran
bring
into
it.
the best sprinter of the current generation.
All right. And he was.
If
it
you
was
pull up a
close.
side by side of Noah Lyles and Usain Bolt and then just switch that 1919, you get rid of Noah has like consistently better performances. He has more 19.5s, he has more 19.6s, he has more 19.7s. Like, and Noah does have a 1931, which is essentially tied with Bolt's second fastest ever. I think he's got a strong argument.
1919 though, dude.
I know that. I'm saying if he does break the world record, but he doesn't have all those golds, I still think he has a pretty strong argument that he's the best 200 runner of all time if he gets the gold here and gets an Olympic or win a world record.
There's just like the mechanics of Bolt versus Noah is like, can someone that is Noah's size run 1919?
No one thought someone Bolt size could run a 1919.
But he did because
Till
he
he
is
did.
his size.
yeah,
Like it's not like
It was seen as a negative until they realized it was a positive.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Fred Curley going into the 100, right? It's like look how monstrous. And when
Big
he
guy,
figured it
yeah.
out, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Bolt too. But just
Size will
being so
always win out
big.
if mechanics are
yeah,
there.
right. Like
this is the race where you're trying to cover distance, and if each stride covers more distance, you're gonna do better if you have the mechanics to do it.
but Kenny, man, he's strong. He's just talk about mechanics.
Yep, he had him
marches
150
The
in.
entire way.
Arian Knighton, dude, he's just eating meat, bro. Relax.
All those tainted burritos.
No, man, he just is
That's Shelby.
carnivore. Come
Yeah.
on, man. He looked good in the
Yeah.
At when we saw him in the rounds, it was like, oh, okay. Like there are three here that are.
I
better
still think
than
he has the
everybody else.
biggest ceiling of any of those three in the 200.
He kind of has. How tall is he? He's taller than
He's-
Noah,
he's
right?
lanky.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
more of that Bolt build. We'll see. So that could be the top 3 in the world too, right?
So Noah Lyles is 5'11", 145. I'm disappointed to hear that.
One how much?
145?
Or 154, sorry. 154.
Even that. Wow.
That was my high school weight.
I know. I'm a little. So Area Knighton 6'3", 170.
Yeah, see, that's closer to Bull. Bull was 6'4",
Yeah.
probably
I
180.
think Kenny, he's 6'2", doesn't have 185. So
He's yoked,
that's a big. It's like Hunter size when he's cutting.
eating cheese curds.
But regardless, this is the women's 400 equivalent. Men are so deep here.
Yeah.
And I know that there's that little battle between Jamaica after they had their trials and stuff. Sorry, guys, you don't stand a chance against the U.S. They might sweep.
How, like Tobago could be okay, but I don't think
Yeah.
he's got anything for these 3.
No.
We won't go 1, 2, 3.
Something will happen, but we could.
Could.
You hope we
No,
don't.
Noah didn't. He got 5th last time, so there's no such thing as a given realistically. But he should. He and Kenny. Yeah.
I like 3 U.S. sprinters.
Which ones?
We got Kenny.
Wisconsin.
We've got Holloway. And Sha'Carri.
All right.
And I was against Sha'Carri. And now I'm on team.
You don't like
Team
Gabby Thomas?
Sha'Carri. I don't like who? Oh, yeah, I
Gabby
like
Thomas?
Gabby Thomas.
Come on,
I don't
bro.
count the women. I like all the women's side.
You don't count the women except Sha'Carri.
Only because it's noteworthy that she was the only one of our sprinters I didn't
Hmm.
have an appreciation for. And now I do.
Just come along.
Men U.S. Sprint hater.
Someone hit us with Noah Lyles, Russell Wilson cornball level. Different type of corny.
No, I said Dwight Howard.
Dwight is a good one because that's a similar type of.
No.
Russell
Noah
Wilson.
is
That's
cocky
accurate
corny.
also. Yeah.
But on terms, if you just scale it on the same, if it's on the same scale,
Yeah, they
Hornets
both
level is
break the
close.
scale.
talking about those. And I actually like that he has those goofy cards and like knows what he's talking about with those and like talks about it. Like that is actually authentic, but that he's out there like showing them and being corny with them. It's like, dude, shut up.
Yeah.
Jack, you know what he's talking about with those cards.
He's no,
He's not
I actually
fake about his love for it. It's just there's no reason to do that at the start line and then delay the race.
He's just
Rich,
trying to
you're not-
niche down in his fandom. Jack's
Rich,
locked in.
you're not gonna believe this. I never played Pokemon or anything like that.
I
Never.
don't think this is Pokemon.
Well, I think it was Yu-Gi-Oh or what. I never
don't-
have
you don't
spent a
think- you
penny
know.
on
You
any of
know.
those. I didn't.
Stop.
I know board games. I don't
I
know
don't-
anything about like Magic or any of those type
You're
of
telling
card
me
games.
in your wall of board games there's not one Yu-Gi-Oh card situation?
None.
Magic.
Nope. Absolutely never. No. I don't do Magic the Gathering. Anything.
Take
Look,
it,
you're
take it.
spitting out stuff.
I don't
you
know
all
get
this.
magic. Insert subheading.
Yeah,
There's a subheading.
it's not. It lost
Did
its
either
way.
have either of you spent more than 1 penny on anything Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, anything
Yeah.
like that related? Okay, so yeah,
GameCube,
you're worse
Pokemon
than me.
Blue,
Worse than me.
Yellow, and
Oh, well,
Silver.
he's playing the video games. That
I mean,
count?
Game
I don't
Boy?
care.
Not
I don't
that
care.
doesn't count,
It's
boy.
still contributing towards it. Rich,
And
how
we
about
had some
you? You didn't answer
Pokemon
this
cards.
question.
We had
Never,
every
dude.
card.
Never?
Never.
I bet you did.
I'm telling you, I didn't.
Okay, why do you not believe me when I'm telling you I didn't?
Rich was
I
beating
mean,
up
it's
the nerds.
it's obvious why. What do
Look,
you mean?
I'll own
Jack?
up
What
to
do you
board
mean,
games.
why?
I'm a board game nerd, but I never spent
Why
any
do
money
I
on those
think
cards like
that?
that. Yeah.
Goodness.
Jeez.
Men's 5K.
Let's do
If we
it.
did a poll, who here is most into anime or
Absolutely not.
Pokemon, they would choose you.
You'd have to.
They could say that, but it
I'm
is
not saying they're right.
If there was
but
gambling
public
odds.
perception.
Gambling odds.
gambling odds. I'd take that bet and I'd go to the bank
Well,
with
yeah,
all my
because
money
you
because I know
are the person being
yeah, because
bet on.
I'd be
You know
betting
Get
on
that.
busted.
myself knowing that it's a lie. You guys are pinning me to a corner. I'm not dealing with this crap. Let's talk about the 5K.
It'd be minus. What would we have? Minus 500 probably something insane.
Bigger.
Minus 1,600.
Minus 5,000.
Oh, let's go.
Grant Fisher just doing his thing. That would talk about like a multiple kick, like last 100. I didn't know where that was going to go. That was like the last like 30. He had something there for him.
Nerd gave up and then kicked again.
Yeah, he was
And
looking
Grant
around.
kicked and then dug deeper. I don't get it. Have you ever had those options?
Right, right.
Like my
I
button's
got
been
one.
pushed by 110 to go.
Yeah, and then we're just hoping. So watching Abdi run, and Grant kind of made Abdi's move, because Abdi is 800 to 1,000 out. He usually doesn't let it ride until 300, 200,
He's the
400.
collegiate Mo Farah.
Mm. Mm.
Stride it out, start a half mile, 600 out, put those long legs to work,
And it worked. It
flail the
worked for him.
arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Grant kind of made that move, and Abdi was the only one who went. And then he went, I think, with 300. Did Abdi Noor kind of take the lead back?
I think so.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
And then, yeah, they just had that last battle down. I was very interested in that 3-4 battle. I thought Graham Blanks had him chalked. He was sitting on him in that last 400,
Yeah.
and I was just watching. I was like, he could probably go now, but if he goes and dies, there's like no upside to. He just needs to get third. So I just figured he was going to sit
Because
on
he
him.
has the standard already.
He has the standard, so
Yeah.
there's no reason for him to make a move, and he was just dead on him.
Yep.
Parker Wolf's that dog, though.
Parker was just on tilt the whole weekend.
Yeah.
For sure.
When he made the move to the front of the chase pack as the one who started to close the gap, I felt like nonsensically proud.
You're like,
It was like,
"Nice,
he's
dude."
doing it. Like he
Yeah.
just got to the front of the pros, and this college kid who up until a month ago had never even won a title of anything
Yep.
is suddenly leading the best pros in the US, chasing down the final Olympic spot. It was just so cool to watch.
Yeah.
He's from Colorado. Went to Cherry Creek.
No, did he? Nice.
Mhm.
So I'm just like just to go back to him real quick, Abdi Nur. I clicked on his profile. He has his mile 355, 9, his 5K 1303, 2717. So he's got those. He also has a 60 meter from December 2021 listed on there.
OCR?
I don't know. No. What do you think his 60 is?
60.
Not 60. I get it now. Yeah.
Like he ran it in the blocks? Like he was at an event?
Apparently, December
6'2".
4th, 2021.
I can't
What do you
even, I don't even know. I couldn't even.
6'2" would be faster than world record. But
Have you seen this guy close? He has 3
Yeah,
kicks.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm going to say he's probably like 7'1".
7'2". So,
Nice.
but he ran one, which is kind of cool. Like I
That
respect
is
that.
cool.
Anyone else in here? I mean, Cole Hawker, he had that lead early, and and then Woody took it.
Woody
'cause
went for it.
Woody took it, and then Cole Hawker, he just didn't seem like he had it. He was
Yeah.
like, wasn't. And Cooper Tier, same thing. He's just kind of like, nah.
Legs just were out of it.
no thanks.
What do you think about Grant Fisher's medal chances at Worlds?
Fine.
And should he double?
I don't know, but at the
Did it-
Olympics, probably not great.
Or Olympics, I meant. Sorry. Yeah. Look at that smirk. Just one on me. Yeah. All right.
Trying to think.
Should he
worldwide.
double?
I mean, I don't think so.
But he did last time, and he ended up 2 top 10 finishes. But still,
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he's in that 5th spot, probably for both.
yeah.
Right
Especially
around
if
there.
like
It'd be great.
Ingebrigtsen decides to do it. There's going to be some couple random guys from Kenya and Ethiopia who pull their weight. Like it's going to be tough.
He's
Where's the
worked on
cross at?
everything, but can he, at 400 to go, shift into a 53 after rounds of everything? I don't know. He's in as good a shape to do it as he ever has been.
I think the schedule will allow it better to pull it off, which helps. But
Yeah, dude from Uganda, Jacob Kiplimo.
yeah,
I don't know, man. I actually really don't know. I don't know what they're bringing.
Yep.
Probably fast. Fast
yeah.
runner.
Another race that I don't think someone should double in. Men's 800, second place behind Bryce Hobbs
Hobbs,
Kessler.
baby. Why
Think
would he?
should
Why would he
give up
double?
the 15?
What?
Give up the
Yeah.
15.
Yep. Yeah, I
With
truly
one-
believe that.
with 143 speed. If he can
Well, he
make
doesn't
it.
have 143.
Yeah, he does. He ran
143
Well, I guess
was
he just did.
64.
He just
Yeah.
hit it.
What are you
He did it
talking about?
twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I would run. I think with the
Prelims or
strength,
semi.
the strength of his 1500 meter running to get through the rounds, I think he can keep 143 speed into the final. I think the 800 is an absolute crapshoot on the world stage right now, and anything can happen. He seems to be a kind of precocious in the 8. He just doesn't mess up really. He just runs it so smoothly. I think he could get through the rounds and have a chance to medal, and I don't think you can say that about the 15.
Because you've got Kerr, assuming Kerr and Ingebrigtsen, they're gonna be on the podium. You've probably got Nagoose likely on the podium. Did Whiteman end
Cole
up
Hawker.
running? Cole,
Yeah.
yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta say Nagoose. You gotta say Hawker.
That's true. That's true.
He hasn't
Yeah.
proven he can outkick anyone at the top world level.
Yeah.
And you have to in the final, which is why I think, honestly, I know it's heresy. He should drop the 15 and just run the 8, because we saw it with, oh my goodness, what's his name? Took silver.
In what event?
Rio, probably 800.
Oh,
Why can't I think of his name?
Emmanuel Career or something like
No,
that.
no, from the US, white guy.
Simmons?
No,
Clayton Murphy.
Clayton Murphy.
Clayton Murphy.
Yeah,
The Clayton Murphy route, where you're a strength-based guy who just drops down to the 8, has late-stage success in the season, and then can just power through the rounds without tapping into a big kick. And the 800 is we know it. It's just such a crapshoot. 15 is already locked up the top 7 spots.
But I mean, the dude's 20. The reason he
Yeah.
should do both is because he's so young. He needs to get experience at the world level at both of these things. If
Mhm.
you probably don't have a real
Did-
shot to
did he
medal.
podium at the 15 indoors world? And I know that's indoors,
16,
but
yeah, they got third.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's a wrong choice to do both. But if it's all in on a medal, I think it's the 8.
He's doing both. That's my boy.
I'd only
like
do
that
one
guy.
event, and I think I would also do the 8 at this point.
Hopple could win this thing.
It could.
He looks amazing. They did it from the
Especially with
front.
how the 8's been run recently, which
Who's
has
our-
been people getting out. And he can just do the veteran thing. And he's shown he can close with a kick in just about any style of race now.
Because it was Marco Arop last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And Worlds. And did he win back to back?
I don't think so.
he's gonna
Or
be
indoor
tough.
outdoor, maybe? Thought he won the
Mm.
last 2. Might have been indoor outdoor.
He
Either
definitely
way.
did outdoor, but yeah,
Hopple won indoor.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, he went 51-2, 51-5. So he's got some turnover after a pretty fast start.
Could he
I
break
know
60?
I
But could he
think
break
so.
60?
Did you see Kessler splits?
Kessler went 51-2, 52-4.
It's not bad either.
It's not
So
bad.
usually like a -2 is, or a +2 is kind of like in the range that you expect for an 800. So he was right around +1. I'd still go 800. It's more wide open. You're right.
Women's 100 hurdles.
Oh wait, Brandon Miller also.
Brandon Miller.
Gotta
Yeah,
mention
he's-
him. Texas A&M. Yeah.
Yeah, like he had a great trials. And this Josh Hoey is from PA, just finishing outside, which is tough.
Yeah.
Tough
Yep.
spot. But if Hobbs does decide to do one, I think she should do both. I think
Yeah.
she should do both.
But Hopple ended up breaking Johnny Gray's Olympic trials record. That's been around for a while. So this is a big performance.
In these 100 hurdles, this was actually a passing of the guard with
Yep.
Messiah Russell, who's had a couple of tough championship races in the past year or two, really showing out and running incredibly fast, 12.25. But then you have like the Nia Ali, Kenny Harrison, just like really not even in it. This is just a new era
Mhm.
of
Yeah.
women's hurdles.
In a good era.
Yeah.
It's just like the women's 400 where you could truly have like a dozen of the top 20 from the same country. They're
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah. Not a ton to say there. Women's 15 we talked about, and then now we're just hurdles.
Rod Benjamin.
Is he
I
gonna
think he's
do
got
it?
gold. I
Is
think
he
he's
gonna
got
do
gold
it?
this year.
Gonna have to see it.
So I've been a huge Rod Benjamin fan for a couple years. When I went out to Eugene for the 2022 US champs, I was on the day that they had the 400 hurdles, and after the race, he was just going around and like he actually stood and talked with people for a minute per person. It's like he was a good guy. So I've always been a huge fan of him.
Did you get an autograph?
I got a couple pictures with him.
Nice. Dude.
I don't do autographs. What am I gonna do with that?
There's a bunch of like autograph collectors there. You can see them just
Yeah.
sitting there. They don't even know who these
Yeah.
athletes are.
That's
You
true.
just
Yeah.
like walk over and sign it.
I've got it was him, Trevor Bassett, and Khalifa Rosser were the three then, and I think Trevor got third this race.
So is this the year Warholm comes down to earth?
I think Dos Santos might be the biggest threat right now. He's been running real well this year, but
Warholm's training is on another level. Have you guys looked at his training?
Mm-mm.
no. Norwegian, is he
He
double
is a
threshold trade?
volume-based sprinter, like
Interesting.
tripling every day kind of thing. It's
Hmm.
his workload is astounding.
That's gonna be a
Yeah.
really fun race at the Olympics.
And
If
that has to
everybody
be
gets
a
through.
miserable race to train for.
Yeah, because how do you know what that 10th hurdle is going to feel like unless you get there pretty frequently during your training?
Like, what's speed endurance for a 400-meter runner? If you're doing volume, it's like what, 800 or mile pace, like the slowest you're ever going to run,
Yeah.
something like mile pace. Like all your reps hurt.
Mhm.
Yeah,
A lot of rest. You
Lot
get
of
to
rest.
chill a lot.
Lot of rest.
yeah.
Resting.
Doesn't make it fun.
It is easier than distance. Always will be.
Yeah.
And on the women's end,
And CJ Allen, second place.
CJ
That was a
Allen. Yeah,
good
Trevor
performance.
Bassett too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That high school kid is going to be the truth.
Oh, the kid who was
Nilsson.
in who did, is that his name? He didn't qualify to final.
He was like one off, and
Yeah.
He
Lewis
PR'd
Johnson
back-to-back
told him that he made
races.
it, and then he didn't, and then it's like, oh crap, sorry for saying that on the air. You didn't actually make finals.
He
Yeah,
has
he's
a
like, I'll see you both in
frame,
the finals, but yeah, he's gonna be
a
legit.
dog,
Yeah.
High
got a
schoolers
stride
just
on him.
shout between Quincy Wilson, Christian Miller, and Nilsson on the men's side. You've got several pretty strong high schoolers, and then on the women's side, you had Sadie Engelhardt. There was one other runner, and I thought there was a thrower. But regardless, you've
Thrower
got.
would be insane.
I thought it was maybe a jump. I don't know. There was some field event athlete on the women's side, but regardless, you had like 5 or 6 high schoolers make the Olympic trials, and pretty much they all did really well.
Mhm.
Give them a couple years. But the women's 400 hurdles, what do you expect? Sydney McLaughlin-Maroney ended up breaking the world record by 2/10 or 200ths, was it?
No, it was one.
100.
Yeah, okay, I thought it was 50-67 before, but 50-65 is what she ended up running. Ran all the way through the line.
They gave her 65.
65.
Oh, maybe she did break it by
So
two.
maybe it
Then.
was 2. Yeah.
Winning by 2 seconds. I
Mm.
saw a stat somewhere that said she has the Olympic standard for the 400
Open
flat. Yeah.
with the hurdles.
With
It's
That's-
50.9, and she ran a 50.65, jumping 10 times during the middle of her run. Like,
What's your 400 PR, Rich?
open, I don't even think an open's probably like 57 when I was like a freshman.
last year.
My
yeah.
split was like
I-
51 something. So not
I-
this.
I only did it one
You'd smoke
time.
me.
I did an open at the end of the decathlon. It was a 53.8, but I
That's not bad.
probably on a relay leg, I probably could have done like 52 high or something with a run and start.
It's just so fast.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah,
I did a
And that
400
is-
hurdle twice in college.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Just at the end
break
of the season, I wasn't
65?
going to qualify in the 8. And so
Yeah.
I just tried some 4s just to see because I could hurdle with either leg. So I was like, well, you don't have to work on steps then, just hit whatever. And it is just as painful as the 800. It's a really difficult event.
Yeah, it seems very challenging.
So Sydney ran a 48.75 a month ago, and she runs a 50.65. So she only loses 1.9 seconds over the hurdle. Is that because of her speed or because of her hurdle form? Like that gap seems way too small.
It's just greatness. Like that is really
Yeah.
like watching all the trials. This was the race where I was like, this is someone we might never see again,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? In our
She-
lifetime.
And she
It's
started out as
absolute
a high
greatness.
schooler, so like must give hope to all these other ones who made it. It's like, hey, I can be something. Like look what Sydney evolved into after she debuted as a high schooler.
She's from like Central Jersey, so I claim that.
Yeah. That's yours.
Yeah,
It's not far from where I
She's
grew up.
OCR zone.
Yeah, she's probably only
regional.
like
That's like the Chicago OCR race. It's like,
Less-
yeah, it's
less-
close enough. Might be in
less than
Indiana,
90
but
minutes
whatever.
from where I went to high school
Yeah.
is where she went to high school. That's
Yeah,
the,
she has
that's the same
greatness.
area.
There's no way around that. But Jack, I think we see that with all the 400-meter runners, like Carson Warholm. Everyone's always like, "What could you run in a 4?" It's like, well, we see it a bunch. It's not that much faster than his
About the
hurdles
same.
because that's not the rhythm they build. That's not the
Yeah.
stride they build. They use a different stride in the 400 hurdle, and it almost allows them to use energy differently. The great 400 hurdle runners typically never hit their ceiling in the 4.
Yeah.
Where
No,
I mean, but Sydney's run split 47 and change, and this is something like I would have loved to. I don't know. Typically, right? Like if you think of like the steeple, or even like the 110s, it's like. But if you were faster, you would do the 100 or you would do the 5K, right?
She's
like
the exception.
She's kind of the exception. That's why I was like hoping that she would do the 400 just to be that to win the flat out 4. But it's probably because of the worldwide competition. Ugh, what's her
Femke
name?
Bol,
It's probably
like,
because Femke Bol.
she has a rival right now.
Because
like,
Femke Bol's
truly.
so good that she could
Yeah.
have a year this year where she could potentially break the world record and potentially be like, oh, this is the best 400 hurdler of all time.
Imagine breaking 50, like where legitimately that could happen at some
Yeah.
point. Breaking 50 in the hurdles for the like that's absurd. And I just looked it up just as a comparison. So the 1.90 for the difference between Sydney hurdles and non-hurdles for 400. And Rai Benjamin, his PR is 44.21 versus 46.17. So he's like 1.96. So it's virtually just under 2 seconds seems to be the difference if you're a high-end hurdler right there. So I guess it's in line.
I think they talked 2.5 to 3.5 seconds in college is what they were talking about.
Well, these are the pros. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying that gives credence to that. Like if they're shooting for, if you're testing people out and they can be in that range, they show a proclivity towards this, that the best will be even closer. Yeah, that tracks.
It's wild.
What's going to happen?
Olympics.
The world record's going to go down huge in this event as soon as those two get onto the home stretch and one moves past the other one and gets like a jolt of something they've never had late race because they've never been in that situation late race. Someone's going to
challenge
catch
them.
Each other.
Someone's
but
gonna catch
I
some
don't think Sydney is like. I don't think Femke will be able to put that pressure on Sydney.
No, I don't think so. But if one of them just passes the other on like the second to last hurdle or something, we might see like a several tenth of a second improvement on the world record just by having that late race competition that typically neither of those see.
Yeah, because if you look at Sydney's splits after hurdle 10, between hurdle 10 landing and her finishing the 400, she went 5.22. None of her other splits prior to that were slower than 4.68. So like even though she ran through the line, and it might be a little farther than an even 40 meters at that point, but regardless, having someone breathing down your back right at the end after that last hurdle, that's gonna make a big difference.
All right, we've gone way too long, but this is for the boys. This is just for us out here. We had to talk about these trials. We got the Olympics coming in like 4 weeks.
Yeah.
5 weeks.
Tour de France is going on right now.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Fantastic documentary, Tour de France Unchained. It's on
I'm gonna
Netflix.
have to watch that just so I can start understanding a little bit better.
They just started season 2, which is last year's event. A
cool.
couple days ago, it came out. I've seen the first 2 episodes just because the first one it makes cycling pretty interesting to people who might not be otherwise.
I'm just out.
Yeah.
Never was in.
It just doesn't pique my interest.
Just give it a shot. You might be interested.
Team racing, I don't get it.
It's weird.
Sacrificing yourself for
it's very
the best
strange.
Can't do it without their team. I get that's why people love it. Doesn't do it for me.
It's different. I get it's different than anything that we're used to, I suppose. But
and then I watch Icarus Project and I'm like, yeah, I'm still out.
Yeah.
Everybody's dopers. These cyclists belong in the sprints with our American sprinters. Just eating
With our
meat.
race walkers.
The race walkers, cheating asses. All right. Great chat. We'll be back next week to talk about the Ultra.
More zine.
Ultra results. Watch it. Go Spartan Race YouTube on the Spartan Race France channel.
All right.
Rich, you're going to like it.
We'll talk to you soon.